Every day, countless people allow others to dictate their actions, emotions, and decisions. It may come from people close to them, family, friends, partners, or even strangers. A passing comment, a raised eyebrow, or the fear of disapproval can subtly push us into doing things we don't want to do or being someone we are not. Before we know it, we begin living for others, trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, guilt, and emotional exhaustion. But life was never meant to feel this way. There is a way out, a path to freedom that does not require cutting everyone off or becoming indifferent to the world. It lies in learning how to stop giving others control over your mind, emotions, and decisions. At the heart of this journey is a shift in power, from the outside world to the inner world, where true strength resides. This is where Stoic wisdom, as taught by Epictetus, offers a transformative perspective. Epictetus, born into slavery and later freed, understood better than most the power of external influence. He knew that while life throws challenges at us and people try to sway us, our thoughts and responses are ours alone. He taught that the key to inner peace is not in changing the world, but in mastering how we respond to it. His lessons are as valuable today as they were centuries ago. The truth is, people will always have opinions. They will try to shape your choices, telling you what career to pursue, how to behave, who to associate with, or what dreams are worth chasing. Some will do this with good intentions, but even well-meaning advice can feel suffocating when it does not align with your true desires. The more we try to please everyone, the further we drift from who we are meant to be. Yet, freedom is within reach, and it starts with one powerful decision. Stop letting others define your worth or dictate your choices. It is not your job to make everyone happy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for living life the way that feels right to you. The opinions, criticisms, and judgments of others are their burden to carry, not yours. This freedom is not about rebellion for its own sake. It's about living in a way that honors your true self, aligning your actions with your values, not other people's expectations. It is about learning to respond calmly rather than react emotionally, choosing your path even when others disagree. When you take ownership of your life, external noise loses its grip on you. Criticism may still come, but it won't shake your confidence. Manipulation may be attempted, but it won't work on someone who knows where they stand. Many people give away control without even realizing it. They shape their decisions around others' approval, seeking validation from friends, family, partners, or even social media. The problem with living this way is that the approval you crave can disappear as quickly as it comes. You become a prisoner to the shifting moods and opinions of others. One day, you feel on top of the world. The next, you feel invisible, unwanted, or unworthy. But here's the empowering truth. No one's approval is more valuable than your own. You do not need validation to know your worth. Real confidence comes from within, from knowing that you are doing your best and living according to your principles. When you shift your focus from impressing others to growing yourself, the chains of external control start to fall away. You become free to pursue what truly matters to you, not what others expect or demand. This isn't always easy. Breaking free from others' influence takes courage, discipline, and practice. It means learning to set boundaries without guilt, saying no when necessary, and developing the strength to walk away from relationships that drain rather than uplift. It means trusting yourself more than the opinions of others. But the reward for this effort is priceless, a life of inner peace and fulfillment, untouched by the storms of other people's expectations. Epictetus reminds us that the only thing we can truly control is ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. Everything else, people's opinions, life's challenges, and external events, is beyond our control. Once you grasp this truth, the burden of trying to please everyone lifts. You become calm, steady, and focused, unbothered by the chaos around you. Freedom is not found in changing the minds of others or bending the world to fit your desires. It is found in mastering your inner world, responding rather than reacting, detaching rather than clinging. True power lies in self-control, the ability to act according to your values, no matter what others think or say. When you live this way, something remarkable happens. You stop seeking validation from the outside, and with that, the fear of judgment fades. Your relationships improve because you no longer need others to meet your emotional needs. They become a source of joy, not stress. You can connect authentically without fear of rejection, knowing that your worth is not tied to anyone's opinion. This path to freedom isn't about avoiding relationships or shutting people out. It's about cultivating emotional independence so that your happiness does not depend on others. You become free to love without attachment, to help without resentment, and to say no without guilt. Boundaries become acts of self-respect, not selfishness. You stop apologizing for being yourself and start embracing the life that feels right to you. And with every step you take toward inner freedom, you reclaim the power that was always yours. Living freely does not mean life becomes easy. Challenges and disappointments will still arise. But with each test, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more at peace with yourself. Your mind becomes your sanctuary, a place no one can invade without your permission. Criticism and rejection lose their sting because you know deep down that your value is not up for debate. At the heart of this journey is a profound shift. You stop reacting to life and start responding to it. You stop chasing approval and start pursuing purpose. You stop letting others shape your identity and discover, finally, the person you were always meant to be. This book is your guide to that transformation. It will show you how to master your emotions, build resilience, and set healthy boundaries, all with the wisdom of Epictetus and the timeless principles of Stoicism. With these tools, you'll learn how to take control of your life, free yourself from toxic influences, and live in a way that feels deeply fulfilling. No one else can give you freedom. It is a gift you must claim for yourself. And when you do, you'll realize that the only approval you ever needed was your own. The road ahead may not be easy, but it will be worth it. Every step you take toward independence brings you closer to the life you deserve, a life that is yours and yours alone. So here's the question. Are you ready to take back your power? The journey starts now. No matter how strong you think you are, peer pressure can sneak in unnoticed. It doesn't always come with shouting or demands. It can appear in subtle forms, through a quiet suggestion, a raised eyebrow, or a friend's silence when you say no. Peer pressure makes you question yourself, pushing you to act against your better judgment. It challenges your independence at its core, creating doubt about who you are and what you stand for. But independence is not about walking away from others or living in isolation. It's about staying grounded in your values, no matter how hard others pull at you. Learning how to break free from peer pressure is essential if you want to regain control over your life. A person driven by others' approval will never know true freedom. At every corner, there will be someone trying to sway your decisions, whether it's about your career, relationships, or how you spend your time. The key to independence lies not in avoiding people, but in mastering the art of standing firm without arrogance. It's about becoming a person whose actions align with principles, not the shifting opinions of others. Epictetus taught that what others think of you is none of your concern. Their praise or criticism does not change your worth. It is just noise. When you detach your self-esteem from other people's opinions, their influence over you shrinks. This kind of inner strength allows you to engage with others without being consumed by their approval. The pressure to conform loses its grip, and you begin to live life on your terms. The desire to fit in is deeply rooted in human nature. We all want to belong, to feel accepted, and to avoid rejection. But the truth is, approval from others is fleeting. What earns applause today might be met with criticism tomorrow. Seeking validation from others puts you on a path with no end, constantly chasing acceptance but never feeling whole. Independence is realizing that the need to belong must never outweigh the need to be yourself. Standing your ground doesn't require confrontation or rebellion. True independence is quiet but firm. It's saying no without explanation when something goes against your values, knowing that a genuine life doesn't need justification. This quiet strength is what makes independence powerful. It does not seek recognition, but finds fulfillment in self-honesty. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to make choices without fear of judgment. Peer pressure often hides behind kindness, disguised as concern or advice from loved ones. It may sound like, "You'd be happier if you did this," or "Why don't you try it our way?" While some suggestions are well-intended, allowing others to shape your choices diminishes your inner authority. You must learn how to listen respectfully while remaining loyal to yourself. Accepting advice doesn't mean surrendering control. It means filtering it through the lens of your principles. Stoicism teaches that people are not in control of your happiness. Only you are. This truth must become the foundation of your independence. When you stop assigning responsibility for your well-being to others, their opinions lose power over you. Your peace is no longer up for negotiation. With this mindset, you remain calm and steady, even when the pressure to conform feels overwhelming. Building independence starts with small actions. It's saying no to things that drain your energy, stepping away from conversations that clash with your values, and declining invitations that don't serve your purpose. These little choices gradually reinforce your sense of self, building the muscle of independence one decision at a time. The more you practice choosing for yourself, the less power others have over your life. Independence also requires self-awareness. Without understanding what truly matters to you, it becomes easy to fall into the trap of living by other people's standards. Self-reflection allows you to identify your priorities, helping you avoid the pitfall of chasing approval disguised as ambition. When you are clear about what you want, peer pressure becomes irrelevant. It can't sway someone who knows exactly where they are headed. Social comparison fuels peer pressure, making you feel like you are falling behind if your life doesn't align with those around you. But independence means measuring your success by internal standards, not external benchmarks. It's realizing that everyone's path is different, and there is no universal timeline for achievement. Freeing yourself from comparison lets you walk your path with confidence, unbothered by where others stand. Relationships thrive when they are based on respect, not control. Independence means surrounding yourself with people who support your growth rather than try to shape it. Those who respect your boundaries and cheer your progress become true allies on your journey. On the other hand, people who demand conformity reveal their fear of losing control over you. True independence allows you to maintain connections without compromising your identity. Breaking free from peer pressure does not mean abandoning relationships. It means engaging with people on your terms, choosing to be with those who encourage your freedom rather than limit it. Healthy relationships celebrate individuality and inspire personal growth. When you surround yourself with these connections, the pressure to conform disappears, replaced by mutual respect and understanding. Stoic independence is not about pride or stubbornness. It's about cultivating a sense of inner authority so strong that no external force can shake it. This kind of independence does not boast or demand recognition. It simply exists. You know who you are, and that knowledge becomes an anchor when the world around you shifts. The opinions of others pass like clouds, but your values remain unmovable. Peer pressure often comes disguised as fear. Fear of missing out, fear of being judged, fear of losing connections. But fear is just a shadow that shrinks when confronted with truth. Independence requires facing these fears head-on, understanding that no loss is greater than the loss of yourself. When you choose independence, you choose a life guided by courage rather than fear. Freedom from peer pressure means embracing discomfort. It's not always easy to say no or stand apart from the crowd, but discomfort is temporary, while self-betrayal lingers. Every time you choose independence over conformity, you strengthen your sense of self. The discomfort fades, replaced by the quiet joy of living authentically. Independence does not require perfect certainty. You don't need to have all the answers to stand your ground. It's enough to know what feels right for you at this moment. Decisions made with honesty carry more weight than those made out of fear. Trusting yourself, even when the path is unclear, builds the foundation for long-term freedom. There will be times when your choices disappoint others. Independence means accepting that not everyone will understand or support your decisions, and that's okay. It's impossible to please everyone, and trying to do so only leads to frustration and resentment. Choosing your path, even when it's unpopular, is an act of self-respect. Independence also means learning from your mistakes without shame. There will be moments when you second-guess yourself or give in to pressure, but these are opportunities to grow. Mistakes don't define you, they refine you. Each misstep teaches you more about who you are and what you stand for. Stoicism reminds us that the only life we can control is our own. People may try to sway us, and circumstances will challenge us, but our responses remain within our control. This understanding brings peace. You are not responsible for others' expectations, only your actions. With every step toward independence, life becomes simpler. The noise of other people's opinions quiets, and the path ahead becomes clearer. Decisions are no longer weighed down by guilt or fear. You begin to trust yourself fully, and that trust transforms into a quiet confidence. Breaking free from peer pressure does not mean cutting yourself off from the world. It means engaging with life on your terms, choosing freely rather than being driven by others' demands. It's about saying yes to the things that align with your values and no to the things that don't, without guilt or explanation. True independence is a lifelong practice. It's built through daily choices, small but meaningful. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Independence becomes a habit, and soon enough, it feels as essential as breathing. As you grow in independence, you become an example to others. Your quiet confidence inspires those around you, showing them that it's possible to live freely. The more you embody independence, the less likely others will try to control you. People respect those who are secure in themselves. Breaking free from peer pressure opens the door to deeper fulfillment. When your actions align with your values, life becomes more meaningful. There is no greater peace than knowing that the life you live is truly your own. Breaking free from peer pressure is only the first step toward true freedom. Once you stop living for others, the next challenge is learning to master your own mind. In a world where situations often spiral beyond your control, your greatest power lies in controlling how you respond. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reactions shape your experience of life and define whether you live as a master of yourself or a prisoner of circumstances. When you learn to take control of your responses, external events lose their ability to disrupt your peace. Mastering your reactions is not about suppressing emotions, but understanding them. Stoicism teaches that emotions are natural responses, but they do not have to dictate your behavior. It's not wrong to feel anger or sadness. It's what you do with those emotions that determines your peace of mind. Gaining control means pausing in the heat of the moment, recognizing what you feel, and choosing a response rooted in reason rather than impulse. This practice starts by building awareness. Many of our reactions are automatic, driven by habits formed over years. Without noticing, we fall into patterns, getting irritated at delays, frustrated by people's rudeness, or anxious about uncertain outcomes. Mastery begins when you interrupt these patterns. The pause between stimulus and response is where your freedom lies. It's in that brief moment that you reclaim control over your mind. Every challenge you face provides an opportunity to strengthen your ability to respond wisely. Life will test you. Someone will insult you. Things won't go your way. Unexpected events will disrupt your plans. Stoicism encourages you to treat each of these moments as practice, a chance to train your mind to remain calm and steady. When you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, you become the master of your fate. Mastery of reactions requires humility. It's easy to react defensively when criticized or misunderstood, but defensiveness comes from the need to protect an image of yourself, a need rooted in insecurity. True control lies in understanding that you don't need to defend your worth. It is unaffected by others' opinions. When you let go of the urge to prove yourself, you free your mind from unnecessary conflict. A powerful way to master your reactions is to shift focus from what others do to how you can grow from each experience. You cannot control how people behave, but you can choose what you learn from every encounter. Even in unpleasant situations, you have the power to extract wisdom. This perspective transforms setbacks into stepping stones, turning every difficulty into a lesson that strengthens you. The ability to stay calm in adversity is not a gift, it is a skill that you can cultivate. It begins with small moments, like staying composed in traffic or holding your tongue during a heated conversation. These small victories build mental discipline, teaching your mind to remain steady even when emotions try to pull you off balance. Reaction mastery also involves letting go of the need for control. Not everything in life will go according to your plans, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches acceptance of what lies outside your power. When you stop resisting the inevitable and embrace the present moment as it is, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration. Your mind becomes calm because it no longer battles reality. Epictetus taught that events themselves are neutral. It is your interpretation of them that creates joy or sorrow. Mastering your reactions means taking responsibility for those interpretations. You learn to see things as they are, not as your fears or hopes distort them. This clarity allows you to respond from a place of reason rather than emotion. Patience is one of the pillars of reaction mastery. Life doesn't always unfold on your schedule, and people won't always behave as you expect. Cultivating patience means developing the ability to remain peaceful while waiting or when dealing with difficult people. It's not passive acceptance, but an active choice to maintain your peace while the world sorts itself out. Another important aspect is emotional detachment. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent to life, but learning not to be ruled by emotions. Detachment allows you to experience emotions without being controlled by them. You feel anger without acting on it, disappointment without letting it paralyze you, joy without becoming dependent on it. This balance keeps your mind free. Mastering reactions involves self-awareness, the ability to recognize your emotional triggers. When you know what tends to upset or stress you, You can prepare yourself to respond wisely when those situations arise. Self-awareness allows you to meet life with foresight rather than surprise, reducing emotional volatility and giving you greater control over your responses. Stoic mastery also teaches you to let go of attachment to outcomes. You cannot control every result, no matter how well you plan. By shifting your focus from results to effort, you free yourself from the anxiety of things going wrong. Success becomes a matter of doing your best and letting go of the rest. This mindset keeps you calm even when things don't go as expected. Responding mindfully to life's events means practicing gratitude. Even in challenging situations, there is always something to be grateful for: a lesson learned, an opportunity to grow, or simply the fact that you are still standing. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what you have, helping you maintain a positive mindset even in adversity. Forgiveness is another powerful tool in mastering your reactions. Holding on to anger or resentment keeps you emotionally tied to past events, giving others control over your mind. Forgiveness releases that control, allowing you to move forward unburdened. It doesn't excuse wrongdoing, but frees you from being defined by it. The ability to master your reactions brings freedom from drama. You no longer feel the need to engage in every conflict or respond to every slight. You realize that not every situation requires your involvement, and peace becomes more valuable than winning an argument. This freedom allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. Stoicism encourages reflection as a way to improve your responses. At the end of each day, take a moment to review your actions. Consider how you reacted to challenges and where you could have responded better. This practice helps you refine your behavior over time, turning each day into a new opportunity to grow. When you master your reactions, you build resilience. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but each time you respond with wisdom, you become stronger. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing it calmly and emerging wiser on the other side. With each challenge overcome, your ability to stay composed grows. Mastering reactions also means learning to let go of the need to control others. You cannot force people to behave a certain way, and trying to do so only leads to frustration. True freedom lies in accepting others as they are, without needing them to meet your expectations. This acceptance frees you from emotional entanglements. Responding with compassion is a key part of Stoic mastery. Even when others act out of anger or ignorance, choosing compassion over retaliation brings peace. Compassion allows you to see beyond the behavior to the person behind it, fostering understanding rather than conflict. It keeps your mind light, unburdened by grudges. Reaction mastery transforms relationships. When you respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively, you create space for genuine connection. People feel heard and respected in your presence, leading to deeper and more meaningful relationships. Your calmness becomes a stabilizing force, helping others find their own balance. A key benefit of mastering your reactions is emotional independence. You no longer rely on others for your happiness or peace of mind. This independence allows you to engage with life fully, free from emotional entanglements that drain your energy. You become self-sufficient in your joy. Reaction mastery also teaches you the value of silence. Not every situation requires a response. Silence can be a powerful tool, allowing you to disengage from conflicts that offer no value. It creates space for reflection and keeps you from saying things you might later regret. Mastering reactions empowers you to face the unknown with confidence. The future is full of uncertainties, but a steady mind can navigate them with ease. When you trust your ability to respond wisely to whatever comes, fear loses its grip. You approach life's challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. At the heart of reaction mastery lies inner peace. When your mind is no longer disturbed by every external event, you experience a deep sense of tranquility. This peace is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of calm within them. It is the hallmark of a life lived in mastery. The journey to mastering your reactions is ongoing. It requires daily practice, reflection, and effort. But with each step, you move closer to becoming the master of your mind. Life becomes less about controlling events and more about responding to them with grace and wisdom. And in that mastery, you find true freedom. Mastering your reactions opens the door to a deeper kind of freedom, a freedom that no external force can take away. This freedom is not found in circumstances or possessions, but within the mind itself. Internal freedom is the foundation of true strength, the kind that allows you to remain steady through life's ups and downs. In a world filled with constant demands and pressures, this freedom grants you the power to live according to your values, untouched by chaos or the opinions of others. It is here, in the quiet space within yourself, that real strength begins to grow. Internal freedom means freeing yourself from the need to control what is beyond your reach. People will act as they wish, circumstances will shift unexpectedly, and outcomes will not always match your plans. But true freedom lies in accepting these realities without frustration. Once you release the need to control everything outside yourself, your mind becomes lighter. This release creates room for calm, even when life becomes unpredictable. Internal freedom also comes from detaching your self-worth from success or failure. Success can be fleeting, and failure is often inevitable. But these experiences do not define who you are. What matters is the effort you put forth, regardless of the outcome. Stoic philosophy teaches that internal freedom is rooted in knowing that your worth remains steady, whether you win or lose. A key part of this freedom is learning to live with purpose, rather than drifting through life in search of validation. When you align your actions with your values, you begin to live intentionally. This focus brings clarity to your decisions and strengthens your sense of direction. Even when obstacles arise, you remain anchored by your purpose, unmoved by temporary setbacks. Choosing internal freedom means rejecting the need for constant approval. People may criticize or praise, but neither can control you when your value is self-defined. When you stop needing others to validate your choices, you gain the strength to walk your own path. This freedom allows you to make decisions based on what feels right, not what is popular. One of the most powerful aspects of internal freedom is emotional independence. No longer relying on external events to dictate your happiness, you find joy within yourself. This doesn't mean life will be free from challenges, but it does mean that your peace will no longer depend on things going perfectly. Your emotions become your own, not the result of external triggers. Internal freedom requires mastering the art of letting go, of expectations, comparisons, and attachments. Holding on to rigid expectations creates disappointment, while comparisons rob you of joy. The ability to let go allows you to experience life as it is, without unnecessary suffering. You find strength in releasing what no longer serves you. The pursuit of freedom also involves practicing acceptance. Life does not always align with your desires, but acceptance brings peace. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means choosing to focus on what is within your power to change. With this mindset, even challenges become opportunities to grow rather than sources of frustration. Internal freedom gives you the power to remain grounded in your values. In a world that constantly pulls you in different directions, this grounding keeps you steady. External noise loses its impact when your actions align with your principles. This clarity strengthens your ability to stay true to yourself, no matter what others say or do. A free mind is not burdened by regrets from the past or anxiety about the future. Instead, it focuses on the present moment, where life unfolds. The past cannot be changed, and the future is uncertain, but the present offers countless opportunities to live with intention. Internal freedom allows you to embrace these moments fully. This kind of freedom also brings resilience. When challenges arise, they no longer feel overwhelming because your sense of peace comes from within. Life's difficulties become opportunities to practice patience, courage, and wisdom. Each challenge met with calm strengthens your inner resolve, deepening your freedom. Internal freedom teaches you to respond to life rather than react to it. Reactions are automatic, often driven by fear or frustration. Responses, on the other hand, are thoughtful and deliberate. This shift allows you to face difficulties with grace, finding solutions instead of getting lost in emotional turmoil. With internal freedom, you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. The constant race for recognition ends when you realize that your worth is inherent. This freedom from the need to impress brings relief. You can focus your energy on growth and fulfillment rather than chasing approval. Living with internal freedom also transforms relationships. You stop expecting others to meet your emotional needs, which reduces conflict and frustration. Relationships become lighter and more enjoyable when they are based on mutual respect, not hidden expectations. This freedom allows you to connect with others without feeling drained. Freedom from attachment does not mean living without love or connection. It means loving without clinging, knowing that relationships are most meaningful when entered freely. This kind of love is not possessive. It grows without the fear of loss. Internal freedom gives you the courage to love deeply, knowing that your happiness is not dependent on anyone else. Internal freedom also brings clarity about your priorities. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But when your mind is free, you can focus on what is essential, letting go of things that do not contribute to your growth. This clarity helps you make decisions that align with your values. A free mind is also open to change. Life is constantly evolving, and internal freedom allows you to move with it rather than resist it. This openness keeps you adaptable and curious, willing to learn from every experience. Even when things don't go as planned, you remain at peace, knowing that change is a natural part of life. Internal freedom empowers you to take responsibility for your life. You stop blaming circumstances or people for your situation and begin to see that your choices shape your experience. This sense of responsibility brings empowerment, as you realize that you have the power to create a meaningful life. When your mind is free, you stop seeking shortcuts to happiness. You realize that fulfillment comes not from fleeting pleasures, but from living with integrity. This shift in focus brings lasting contentment as you find joy in the small, meaningful moments of life. The pursuit of internal freedom also involves simplifying your life. Complexity creates stress, while simplicity brings peace. Letting go of unnecessary commitments and distractions allows you to focus on what truly matters. This simplicity becomes a source of strength, freeing your mind from unnecessary burdens. Internal freedom teaches you to be comfortable with uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, but this unpredictability no longer feels threatening when your peace comes from within. You learn to embrace the unknown, trusting that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. This freedom also gives you the ability to forgive. Holding on to anger or resentment keeps you tied to the past. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrongdoing. It is about freeing yourself from the weight of bitterness. With a free mind, you let go of what no longer serves you. A free mind is not easily offended. You no longer take things personally, because you understand that other people's actions are reflections of their own inner world, not yours. This perspective allows you to respond with compassion rather than anger, maintaining your peace. Internal freedom also brings self-discipline. When you no longer act on impulse, you can make decisions that align with your long-term goals. This discipline strengthens your ability to stay focused, helping you create the life you desire. With freedom comes the ability to appreciate life fully. You stop rushing through moments, learning to savor each experience. Gratitude becomes second nature, bringing joy even in the simplest of things. This appreciation deepens your connection to life. The practice of internal freedom also involves embracing impermanence. Nothing in life is permanent, but instead of fearing this truth, you find peace in it. This acceptance allows you to let go gracefully when things come to an end, making space for new beginnings. When you live with internal freedom, fear loses its grip on you. Fear thrives on uncertainty and attachment, but a free mind welcomes the unknown. This freedom allows you to take risks, knowing that your peace does not depend on the outcome. Internal freedom also brings contentment. You no longer feel the need to chase after more, as you find satisfaction in what you already have. This contentment brings a deep sense of peace, freeing you from the constant desire for more. The journey to internal freedom is ongoing, but each step brings greater clarity and strength. With each choice to let go, accept and trust yourself, your mind becomes lighter. This freedom transforms your life from the inside out, giving you the strength to live fully and authentically. Internal freedom lays the foundation for emotional independence. Once you free your mind from the need to control life's outcomes, the next challenge is freeing your heart from the weight of others' opinions. Emotional independence isn't about not caring, it's about caring without being controlled. It's the ability to hear others' words, feel the emotions they trigger, but still decide how much power those emotions have over you. When you develop this kind of independence, your peace is no longer at the mercy of others' judgments, and your sense of self stays intact, regardless of praise or criticism. Relying on others for emotional validation can be exhausting. Praise can boost your mood, but its absence leaves you feeling lost. Criticism can crush your spirit, even when it's not justified. Emotional independence allows you to break free from this roller coaster. You learn to appreciate compliments without becoming dependent on them, and hear criticism without losing confidence. Your emotions remain your own, not dictated by the opinions of others. Building emotional independence requires trust in yourself. Doubt weakens your ability to stand firm, making you vulnerable to manipulation. When you trust your inner voice, you no longer need constant reassurance from others. Even when people disagree with your choices, your confidence stays unshaken because it comes from within, not from external approval. Part of emotional independence involves accepting that you will never please everyone. There will always be people who misunderstand, judge, or criticize you. Trying to meet everyone's expectations drains your energy and leaves little room for your true self to thrive. Freedom comes when you stop chasing approval and start living authentically, knowing that not everyone will agree with your path, and that's okay. This independence also teaches you to set boundaries without guilt. Boundaries are essential for maintaining your emotional well-being, yet many struggle to enforce them, fearing rejection or conflict. Emotional independence means recognizing that saying no is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It allows you to protect your peace without feeling responsible for how others react to your choices. When you free yourself from the weight of others' opinions, you gain clarity about who you are. Emotional dependence often clouds your sense of self, making you shape your identity around others' expectations. Independence gives you the space to discover what truly matters to you, free from outside influences. You become more in tune with your needs, desires, and values. Developing emotional independence also means learning to detach from people's moods and reactions. Sometimes, others' emotions can feel like a storm, pulling you in and unsettling your peace. But with independence, you understand that their feelings are not yours to carry. You offer empathy without becoming emotionally entangled, maintaining your own stability even when others are struggling. Emotional independence teaches you to take responsibility for your own happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that others must meet your emotional needs, but true happiness comes from within. When you stop expecting others to make you happy, you reclaim control over your emotions. This shift brings relief, as your well-being no longer depends on anyone but yourself. Forgiveness plays a crucial role in emotional independence. Holding on to resentment ties you emotionally to those who have hurt you, giving them power over your peace. Forgiveness is not about condoning behavior, but about freeing yourself from the burden of anger. It's a way to reclaim emotional control, choosing peace over pain. The ability to detach from others' opinions does not mean you stop listening. It means learning to listen without attaching your worth to what you hear. Emotional independence allows you to consider feedback thoughtfully, taking what serves you and leaving the rest behind. You become open to growth without feeling threatened by criticism. This independence also helps you navigate conflict with grace. Disagreements no longer feel like personal attacks, but opportunities to understand different perspectives. Emotional independence gives you the strength to stay calm, even when others are heated. You can express yourself clearly without being swayed by the emotions of the moment. With emotional independence, you learn to love without clinging. Love rooted in independence is free and light. It does not seek to control or possess. It allows space for both connection and individuality, creating relationships that are fulfilling rather than suffocating. You love because you choose to, not because you need to. Developing independence from others' opinions strengthens your resilience. Life will bring challenges, and people will have opinions about how you should handle them. Emotional independence allows you to stay focused on what feels right for you, even when others offer conflicting advice. Your ability to navigate difficulties improves because you trust your own judgment. Emotional independence frees you from the need to explain yourself constantly. There is power in simply saying, "This is what I've decided," without offering lengthy justifications. When your decisions align with your values, they speak for themselves. You no longer feel the need to defend your choices to everyone who questions them. This independence also teaches you to embrace imperfection. Emotional dependence often stems from a fear of making mistakes and being judged. But independence allows you to accept that perfection is neither achievable nor necessary. Mistakes become opportunities to learn, not reflections of your worth. You grow stronger with each lesson. Freeing yourself from others' opinions brings peace to your mind. Constantly worrying about what people think creates mental clutter, leaving little space for reflection or creativity. Emotional independence clears this clutter, allowing your mind to rest. With fewer worries, you find it easier to focus on what matters most. Independence also brings freedom from jealousy. Comparing yourself to others is a sure way to feel inadequate, but emotional independence shifts your focus inward. You celebrate your progress instead of measuring it against others' achievements. This shift allows you to feel content and confident in your journey. When you develop emotional independence, you become less reactive. You no longer feel the need to respond to every comment or defend yourself against every criticism. This ability to pause and reflect keeps you calm, even in emotionally charged situations. Your responses become intentional rather than impulsive. Emotional independence also strengthens your sense of purpose. When you are no longer distracted by others' opinions, you can focus more deeply on your goals. Your energy goes toward what truly matters, making your efforts more meaningful. This focus brings a sense of fulfillment that external approval can never provide. Independence from others' opinions brings self-acceptance. You stop seeking validation from the outside and start embracing yourself as you are, flaws and all. This acceptance brings relief as you realize that you are enough just as you are. You no longer need others to tell you that you matter. You know it deep within. This kind of independence also deepens your relationships. When you no longer depend on others for validation, your connections become more genuine. You show up as your true self, creating space for others to do the same. Relationships built on authenticity are stronger and more rewarding. Developing emotional independence helps you let go of grudges. Holding on to past hurts keeps you emotionally tied to people and situations that no longer serve you. Letting go allows you to move forward with peace, unburdened by resentment. Your energy becomes available for new experiences and connections. This independence also gives you the freedom to be misunderstood. Not everyone will understand your choices, and that's okay. Emotional independence allows you to stand firm in your truth without needing others to agree. You live according to your values, not others' expectations. Freeing yourself from others' opinions helps you handle setbacks with grace. When failure occurs, it doesn't feel like a reflection of your worth. Emotional independence allows you to view setbacks as part of the process, not the end of the road. You bounce back quicker because your confidence remains intact. Independence also brings freedom from people-pleasing. You no longer feel the need to say yes to everything or sacrifice your well-being for the sake of approval. Emotional independence gives you the strength to prioritize your needs without guilt. Your time and energy become yours to manage. This independence teaches you to take criticism in stride. Not every comment deserves your attention, and not every critic sees the full picture. Emotional independence allows you to separate helpful feedback from noise. You learn from what is useful and let the rest go. With emotional independence, you find peace in solitude. Being alone no longer feels lonely because your sense of self is whole. You enjoy your own company, using quiet moments to recharge and reflect. Solitude becomes a source of strength rather than something to avoid. Independence also helps you embrace change. Others may resist when you grow or evolve, but emotional independence gives you the freedom to change without seeking permission. You follow your own path, trusting that growth is necessary even if others don't understand. Emotional independence allows you to release the need for closure. Not every situation will end with clear answers or resolutions. Independence teaches you to let go gracefully, finding peace within yourself rather than in external circumstances. This release brings relief, allowing you to move forward freely. The journey to emotional independence requires practice and patience. It involves unlearning old habits and building new ones. But each step brings you closer to a life where your peace is your own, untouched by the opinions of others. This independence is not a destination, but a way of being, a way that brings lasting peace. Emotional independence teaches you to rise above others' opinions, but Epictetus takes this wisdom a step further. He reminds us that true peace comes when we stop taking things personally. The world is full of judgments, misunderstandings, and unexpected events. People will say things that sting, behave unfairly, or treat you without kindness. Yet, how you respond determines whether you carry the weight of those moments or release them. Learning not to take things personally gives you freedom from unnecessary emotional burdens. It allows you to see that most actions from others say more about them than they do about you. Epictetus taught that people act according to their own perceptions, shaped by their experiences and emotions. Their behavior is a reflection of their internal world, not a judgment of your worth. When you understand this, the actions of others lose their power over you. Insults, dismissals, or harsh words no longer feel like personal attacks, but are seen for what they are, reactions coming from their own struggles. Learning not to take things personally means building a shield between your peace and others' actions. It's not about becoming numb, but about developing the wisdom to separate what belongs to you from what belongs to others. When someone acts unkindly, it reflects their state of mind, not your value. This perspective frees you from the need to internalize every interaction. One of the most liberating truths Epictetus offers is that you are not responsible for how others feel about you. Their opinions are shaped by their experiences, biases, and emotions, things you cannot control. Trying to change their perceptions only leads to frustration. Instead, you focus on living according to your values, knowing that you cannot control how others interpret your actions. This mindset teaches you to be at peace even when misunderstood. People may misjudge your intentions, question your decisions, or criticize your actions, but their judgments do not define you. You know your truth, and that knowledge is enough. When you no longer need others to understand you, you free yourself from the burden of constant explanation. Mastering the art of not taking things personally also means learning to let go of small annoyances. Not every slight or rude comment deserves your attention. When you stop reacting to every irritation, you protect your peace. Life becomes lighter because you no longer carry unnecessary emotional weight. Epictetus reminds us that what others say or do is not within our control, only our response is. This understanding gives you power over your emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause and choose how to respond. This choice gives you freedom, as you no longer hand over your peace to others. Practicing this philosophy helps you build resilience. Insults or criticism lose their sting because you see them for what they are, words. They have no power unless you give them meaning. When you refuse to let others' words define you, their judgments become noise that fades into the background. Learning not to take things personally also strengthens your relationships. You become less reactive and more understanding, realizing that people's actions often come from their own struggles. This shift allows you to respond with empathy instead of anger, improving your connections with others. This philosophy teaches you to let go of the need to prove yourself. There will always be people who doubt or criticize you, but their opinions are not your concern. You live according to your values, knowing that your worth is not up for debate. This confidence brings peace, as you no longer feel the need to defend every decision. Epictetus's teachings encourage you to focus on your internal world, not the external one. The more you rely on external validation, the more you open yourself up to disappointment. But when your sense of self comes from within, you remain steady regardless of others' opinions. This inner stability becomes your anchor in a world full of shifting judgments. Letting go of personal offenses also teaches you patience. People act out of frustration, fear, or insecurity, and their actions are not always about you. When you respond with patience, you create space for understanding. This patience benefits you as much as it benefits others, as it keeps your emotions balanced. This practice also helps you develop humility. Not taking things personally means recognizing that the world does not revolve around you. People have their own lives, challenges, and thoughts that influence their behavior. This understanding allows you to step back and see situations from a broader perspective. Epictetus's wisdom helps you detach from praise as well as criticism. Compliments can be pleasant, but they do not define you. When you become dependent on praise, you give others control over your happiness. True peace comes from knowing that your worth is steady, whether others recognize it or not. Mastering this mindset also helps you embrace imperfection. People will sometimes say the wrong things or behave thoughtlessly, but holding on to every offense only creates resentment. Learning to let go of these moments brings freedom. You realize that not every action deserves your emotional investment. This approach helps you navigate conflict more effectively. Instead of reacting defensively, you listen with clarity, understanding that others' words reflect their perspective, not absolute truth. This ability to listen without reacting improves your communication, leading to more constructive conversations. Not taking things personally allows you to remain calm in the face of criticism. Whether the criticism is fair or not, you view it as information rather than a personal attack. You reflect on it thoughtfully, taking what is useful and discarding the rest. This calmness strengthens your ability to grow without becoming defensive. This mindset also protects you from burnout. Constantly worrying about what others think drains your energy. When you stop taking things personally, you conserve your emotional resources for what truly matters. This shift allows you to focus on your goals with clarity and purpose. Epictetus's teachings remind you that not every action needs a response. Silence can be a powerful tool, allowing you to disengage from unnecessary conflicts. You choose when to engage and when to walk away, protecting your peace in the process. This philosophy also brings clarity to your priorities. When you stop reacting to every opinion, you focus on what aligns with your values. Your time and energy become more intentional, directed toward what truly matters to you. Learning not to take things personally helps you handle rejection gracefully. Rejection is a part of life, but it does not define your worth. You understand that others' decisions reflect their needs, not your value. This perspective allows you to move forward without bitterness. This practice also helps you embrace change. People's opinions may shift and situations may evolve, but your sense of self remains constant. This stability gives you the freedom to adapt to change without losing your peace. Mastering this mindset gives you freedom from emotional entanglements. You no longer feel the need to react to every slight or engage in every argument. This freedom allows you to focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment. Epictetus's wisdom teaches you to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and emotions. When you stay within this sphere, you find peace. External events no longer dictate your happiness, as you have learned to cultivate peace from within. This approach also strengthens your self-discipline. Not taking things personally requires practice, as it challenges habitual reactions. But with each effort, you build mental discipline, making it easier to maintain your peace in future situations. Letting go of personal offenses also brings freedom from grudges. Holding on to resentment ties you to the past, draining your energy. When you release these burdens, you make space for new experiences and connections. This practice helps you cultivate compassion. When you stop taking things personally, you see others more clearly. You recognize that their actions come from their struggles, not from a desire to hurt you. This understanding fosters empathy, improving your relationships. This mindset also brings balance to your emotions. You no longer ride the highs of praise or the lows of criticism. Instead, you remain steady, grounded in your values. This emotional balance brings a deep sense of peace. Learning not to take things personally also helps you develop confidence. Your sense of self becomes independent of others' opinions. This confidence allows you to pursue your goals without fear of judgment, knowing that your worth is not at stake. Epictetus's teachings encourage you to embrace simplicity. The more you detach from others' opinions, the simpler life becomes. You focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment, free from unnecessary complications. This mindset brings freedom from guilt. You no longer feel responsible for how others perceive you. This release allows you to make choices that align with your values, without the burden of guilt or shame. Not taking things personally allows you to celebrate your progress without comparison. You appreciate your growth for what it is, without measuring it against others. This appreciation brings contentment as you find joy in your journey. This practice also teaches you to let go of expectations. People will act according to their nature, not always as you wish. Letting go of expectations allows you to accept situations as they are, bringing peace. With this mindset, you become less reactive and more thoughtful. You respond with intention, choosing actions that align with your values. This intentionality strengthens your ability to navigate life's challenges with grace. Epictetus's wisdom teaches you that peace is a choice. Each moment offers you the opportunity to protect your peace or give it away. When you stop taking things personally, you reclaim that choice, creating a life of freedom and fulfillment. Letting go of personal offenses creates space for peace, but the real challenge begins when you encounter manipulative people. These individuals test your boundaries, aiming to shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions for their benefit. Manipulation comes in many forms, some subtle, others overt, but the goal is always the same: control. To remain unshaken in the presence of such behavior requires resilience. With the guidance of Stoic principles, you learn to recognize manipulation for what it is and develop the strength to resist it without losing your composure or kindness. Resilience begins with awareness. Manipulative people often disguise their intentions with charm, guilt, or flattery, making it easy to miss their true motives. The first step is to recognize these tactics without judgment. Manipulation thrives on emotional reactions, so staying calm gives you the upper hand. When you approach situations with clarity, you reduce their power to influence your thoughts and behavior. Building resilience means setting firm boundaries. Manipulators test your limits, pushing to see how much control they can gain. Stoicism teaches you to protect your peace by saying no when necessary. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about defining what you will and will not accept. They create space for healthy interactions and protect you from emotional exhaustion. Resilience also requires detachment. Manipulators rely on emotional entanglement to maintain control, playing on your fears, guilt, or hopes. By practicing emotional detachment, you remain present without becoming entangled in their tactics. You offer empathy where appropriate, but maintain a clear sense of your own emotions and needs. A key Stoic strategy is staying rooted in your values. Manipulative people often try to create confusion, making it hard to distinguish their needs from your own. When you know your values, you can navigate these situations with confidence, staying true to yourself despite outside pressure. Your values become your compass, guiding your responses and keeping you grounded. Manipulation often involves the use of guilt to influence behavior. Stoicism teaches that guilt should not govern your actions. Guilt can cloud your judgment, leading you to act out of obligation rather than authenticity. Resilience means recognizing guilt as an emotion, not a command. You can acknowledge it without letting it dictate your decisions. Manipulative people thrive on creating urgency. They push you to make decisions quickly, leaving little time for reflection. Stoicism encourages deliberate action, reminding you that few situations are as urgent as they seem. Pausing before responding gives you the clarity to act wisely, reducing the manipulator's influence over your choices. Resilience also involves learning to tolerate discomfort. Manipulative people know how to provoke discomfort to get what they want, whether through criticism, passive aggression, or withholding affection. The ability to sit with discomfort without reacting impulsively gives you power. You become less susceptible to their tactics when their attempts to unsettle you fail. Building resilience requires patience. Manipulative behavior does not change overnight, and expecting immediate transformation leads to frustration. Stoicism reminds you that people act according to their nature. Your job is not to change them, but to maintain your peace in their presence. Patience becomes your ally as you navigate these complex relationships. Developing resilience also means recognizing the limits of your influence. Some people will continue to manipulate no matter how clearly you set boundaries or respond calmly. Stoic wisdom teaches that their behavior is outside your control. What remains in your control is how you respond, ensuring that you protect your peace even when others refuse to change. Resilience allows you to disengage when necessary. Not every battle needs to be fought, and not every manipulative person deserves your time or energy. Walking away from toxic situations is not weakness, but wisdom. It's a way to preserve your emotional well-being and focus on what truly matters. Building resilience also means practicing forgiveness, not for their benefit, but for yours. Holding on to anger or resentment toward manipulative people keeps you emotionally tied to them. Forgiveness allows you to release these ties and move forward without the weight of bitterness. It is an act of self-liberation. A Stoic approach to resilience also involves managing your expectations. Manipulative people rarely change unless they see the need to do so. Expecting them to behave differently leads to disappointment. Resilience means accepting them as they are without allowing their behavior to disrupt your peace. This strategy also helps you cultivate empathy without enabling manipulation. You can acknowledge that manipulative people act from their insecurities and unmet needs, but empathy does not mean surrendering your boundaries. It allows you to respond with compassion while still protecting yourself. Building resilience sharpens your ability to see through deception. Manipulators often twist reality, making it difficult to distinguish truth from lies. Stoic clarity keeps your mind sharp, helping you recognize manipulation without being swayed. You learn to trust your instincts and not second-guess yourself. This practice also strengthens your ability to remain emotionally independent. Manipulators rely on creating emotional dependence, convincing you that your well-being is tied to their approval. Emotional independence allows you to detach from their influence, staying true to your path regardless of their opinions. Resilience helps you resist the need for validation. Manipulative people often dangle approval like a carrot, using it to control your behavior. When your sense of self comes from within, their approval loses its power. You act according to your values, not to gain their favor. Stoic resilience teaches you to manage conflict with calm. Manipulators often provoke arguments to create chaos and gain control. Responding with calmness disrupts their strategy, leaving them without the emotional reaction they seek. Your calmness becomes a shield, protecting you from their tactics. This approach also involves practicing self-reflection. Manipulative people are skilled at shifting blame, making you question yourself. Regular reflection helps you stay connected to your values, ensuring that their manipulation does not sway your actions. You learn from each interaction, refining your responses over time. Building resilience means developing trust in yourself. Manipulators plant doubt, hoping to make you question your choices. Stoic wisdom reminds you to trust your inner compass, knowing that you are capable of making sound decisions. This trust strengthens your ability to resist manipulation. Resilience also involves letting go of the need to fix others. Manipulative people often present themselves as victims, drawing you into their drama. Stoicism teaches that you cannot solve other people's problems. Your role is to maintain your peace and offer support without becoming entangled in their struggles. This practice helps you recognize when to seek distance. Not every relationship can be salvaged, and some manipulative people will not respect your boundaries. Creating distance is sometimes the only way to protect yourself. Resilience gives you the strength to step back without guilt. A key part of resilience is recognizing your worth. Manipulative people often try to diminish your sense of value to gain control. Stoic philosophy reminds you that your worth is inherent, not dependent on others' opinions. This knowledge protects you from their attempts to undermine you. Resilience also helps you see manipulation as a reflection of the manipulator's inner struggles. It does not excuse their behavior, but provides context. Understanding this allows you to respond with compassion rather than anger, preserving your peace. This practice helps you avoid taking responsibility for others' emotions. Manipulative people often shift blame, making you feel responsible for their feelings. Resilience teaches you that everyone is responsible for their own emotions. You are not obligated to carry their burdens. Building resilience means learning to say no without apology. Manipulative people rely on guilt to pressure you into saying yes. Resilience gives you the strength to decline requests that do not align with your values, without feeling the need to justify your decision. This approach also involves practicing self-care. Dealing with manipulative people can be draining, and resilience requires regular replenishment. Taking time to care for yourself ensures that you remain strong in the face of manipulation. It is not selfish, it is essential. Resilience teaches you to embrace your own power. Manipulative people try to make you feel powerless, but Stoicism reminds you that your power lies in your response. No one can control you unless you allow it. Your strength comes from within, and it is always available to you. This mindset also helps you develop perspective. Manipulative behavior may feel overwhelming in the moment, but resilience allows you to see the bigger picture. You realize that their influence is limited, and your peace is always within reach. Resilience allows you to engage with manipulative people without losing yourself. You remain present without becoming entangled, maintaining clarity even in complex interactions. This balance ensures that you protect your peace while still engaging when necessary. Stoic resilience also helps you let go of grudges. Holding on to anger toward manipulative people keeps you tied to the past. Letting go allows you to move forward without the burden of resentment, creating space for new experiences. This practice helps you develop patience with yourself. Building resilience takes time, and setbacks are part of the process. Stoic wisdom encourages you to approach this journey with kindness toward yourself, knowing that each step forward is progress. Resilience transforms your relationships. You stop engaging in power struggles and start focusing on what aligns with your values. This shift creates space for healthier connections, free from manipulation. Resilience is not just about resisting manipulation, it is about reclaiming your peace. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to practice clarity, patience, and strength. With every challenge, you grow more rooted in your values, creating a life that is truly your own. Resilience helps you resist the influence of manipulative people, but without self-discipline, true personal power remains out of reach. Self-discipline is the foundation of a life lived with purpose and control. It allows you to overcome distractions, resist impulses, and align your actions with your values. For the Stoics, discipline was not about strict punishment. It was about mastering the mind and body to achieve freedom. Without self-discipline, we are ruled by whims, habits, and external influences. Cultivating discipline brings clarity and focus, giving you the power to shape your life rather than be shaped by circumstances. Developing self-discipline begins with small actions. It is the ability to make a promise to yourself and follow through, even when the excitement fades. Discipline starts when motivation ends. It's easy to take action when you feel inspired, but the real challenge is showing up on the difficult days. Each time you follow through despite discomfort, you strengthen your willpower. These small victories build momentum, making it easier to stay consistent over time. Stoicism teaches that discipline requires clear goals. Without direction, even the most disciplined efforts become scattered and ineffective. Knowing what you want and why you want it provides the fuel to stay disciplined. Clarity helps you prioritize your time and energy, keeping you focused on what matters most. A disciplined mind does not wander. It moves deliberately toward a purpose. Self-discipline involves controlling impulses. In a world filled with distractions and instant gratification, the ability to delay pleasure is a rare skill. Stoicism encourages you to practice self-restraint, understanding that not every desire needs to be indulged. When you learn to say no to distractions, you create space for what truly matters. This practice brings freedom as you become the master of your desires rather than their servant. Discipline also requires embracing discomfort. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. The Stoics believed that true strength emerges when you willingly face challenges. Discipline means doing the difficult thing, even when every part of you wants to avoid it. Each time you push through discomfort, you build resilience, and over time, discomfort becomes less intimidating. Building self-discipline involves creating habits that support your goals. Willpower alone is not enough. It is a limited resource. Discipline is strengthened through routines and systems that make positive actions automatic. When you build habits aligned with your values, discipline becomes second nature, reducing the mental effort needed to stay on track. Stoicism teaches that discipline is a form of self-respect. When you honor your commitments to yourself, you build trust in your ability to follow through. This trust becomes a source of confidence, reinforcing your sense of personal power. Breaking promises to yourself, on the other hand, weakens discipline and erodes self-trust. Each decision to stay disciplined becomes an act of self-empowerment. Discipline is also about balance. It is not about working non-stop or denying yourself joy. It is about knowing when to push and when to rest. The Stoics valued moderation, understanding that too much of anything, even discipline, can be harmful. A disciplined life is not rigid. It is flexible, adjusting to meet the needs of the moment without losing focus. Cultivating discipline requires patience. Progress is rarely immediate, and the path to mastery is often long. Discipline teaches you to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Patience allows you to keep going when results are slow, knowing that consistency will eventually lead to success. Self-discipline also involves learning to manage emotions. Emotions can be powerful distractions, pulling you away from your goals. Stoicism teaches that while emotions are natural, they do not have to dictate your actions. Discipline means acknowledging your emotions without letting them control you. It's the ability to act according to your values, even when emotions try to pull you in another direction. This practice helps you develop focus. In a world filled with noise and distractions, focus is a rare skill. Discipline trains your mind to stay present, concentrating on the task at hand. The ability to focus deeply brings efficiency and clarity, allowing you to make the most of your time and energy. Discipline also means being honest with yourself. It requires the courage to acknowledge where you fall short and the willingness to take responsibility for your actions. Self-discipline involves holding yourself accountable, not with harsh criticism, but with a commitment to growth. It's about learning from mistakes and making adjustments, rather than giving up when things don't go as planned. Stoicism encourages you to practice self-discipline daily. Discipline is not built in a single moment. It is cultivated through consistent effort. Each day offers opportunities to strengthen discipline, whether by completing a task you'd rather avoid or resisting a temptation. These small acts of discipline accumulate, creating a foundation of personal power. Discipline also involves simplifying your life. Complexity creates stress and makes it harder to stay focused. When you simplify, you reduce distractions and create space for what truly matters. A disciplined life is not cluttered with unnecessary commitments. It is focused and intentional. This approach helps you develop resilience. Discipline is not just about achieving goals. It's about building the strength to keep going when things get tough. Life will throw challenges your way, but discipline gives you the power to face them with courage. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity to practice resilience, deepening your personal power. Discipline also involves learning to manage your time effectively. Time is one of your most valuable resources, and how you use it shapes your life. Discipline helps you prioritize your time, ensuring that it aligns with your values and goals. It allows you to say no to distractions and yes to what matters most. Stoicism teaches that discipline is not about perfection. Mistakes are inevitable, but they do not define your progress. Discipline means getting back on track after a setback, learning from the experience, and moving forward. It's about progress, not perfection, and the willingness to keep going despite challenges. Building discipline also means embracing delayed gratification. Many goals require long-term effort, and discipline helps you stay committed even when rewards are far off. The ability to delay gratification strengthens your resolve, helping you stay focused on your long-term vision. This practice helps you develop mental toughness. Discipline requires strength of mind, the ability to stay focused even when circumstances are difficult. Mental toughness is built through challenges, each one an opportunity to strengthen your discipline. Over time, you become more capable of facing life's difficulties with confidence. Self-discipline also involves taking care of your body. Physical health supports mental clarity and emotional well-being. Discipline helps you develop healthy habits, such as exercise and proper nutrition, that enhance your overall well-being. Taking care of your body becomes a form of self-respect and a foundation for personal power. Stoic discipline encourages you to live intentionally. Every action becomes a choice aligned with your values and goals. Discipline helps you avoid drifting through life, instead guiding you to live with purpose. This intentionality brings meaning to your actions, deepening your sense of fulfillment. This approach helps you develop independence. Discipline allows you to rely on yourself, knowing that you have the power to achieve your goals. Independence grows as you build trust in your abilities, reducing your reliance on external motivation or validation. Building self-discipline strengthens your relationships. Discipline helps you become more reliable and trustworthy as you follow through on your commitments to others. It also helps you set boundaries, ensuring that your time and energy are used wisely. This balance creates healthier, more meaningful connections. Discipline also brings freedom. It may seem paradoxical, but discipline creates space for spontaneity and joy. When your life is organized and focused, you have more time and energy to enjoy the things you love. Discipline frees you from the chaos of unstructured living, giving you the freedom to pursue your passions. This practice teaches you to embrace challenges. Discipline helps you see obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than setbacks. Each challenge becomes a chance to strengthen your resolve, deepening your personal power. Over time, challenges become less intimidating as your discipline grows. Stoic discipline also involves practicing gratitude. Discipline is not just about striving for more, it's about appreciating what you have. Gratitude helps you stay grounded, reducing the temptation to chase after unnecessary goals. It brings contentment, allowing you to enjoy the journey as much as the destination. This approach helps you develop self-awareness. Discipline requires you to understand your strengths and weaknesses, as well as your motivations. Self-awareness allows you to make better decisions, aligning your actions with your values. It becomes a guide for personal growth, helping you stay true to yourself. Building self-discipline also involves learning to manage stress. Discipline helps you create routines and habits that reduce stress, such as regular exercise and mindfulness practices. It gives you the tools to stay calm and focused, even in challenging situations. Stoicism teaches that discipline is a lifelong practice. It is not something you achieve once and forget. It requires ongoing effort. Each day offers new opportunities to practice discipline, whether through small acts of self-control or larger commitments to your goals. This practice helps you develop humility. Discipline teaches you that growth is a process, and there is always room for improvement. Humility allows you to learn from your mistakes and seek feedback, deepening your personal power. Building self-discipline also strengthens your ability to lead. Discipline helps you set an example for others, inspiring them through your actions. It creates trust and respect, as people see that you live according to your values. Leadership becomes a natural extension of your personal power. Discipline also helps you develop a sense of inner peace. When your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of fulfillment and contentment. Discipline reduces the chaos of impulsive living, bringing order and clarity to your life. This practice helps you develop compassion. Discipline allows you to manage your emotions, making it easier to respond with kindness and understanding. Compassion becomes a natural part of your personal power, strengthening your connections with others. Building self-discipline brings a sense of accomplishment. Each time you follow through on your commitments, you reinforce your belief in your abilities. This sense of accomplishment becomes a source of motivation, helping you stay disciplined over time. Stoic discipline encourages you to live authentically. Discipline helps you align your actions with your true self, reducing the temptation to conform to others' expectations. It brings freedom, as you live according to your values, not societal pressures. This approach helps you develop resilience. Discipline gives you the strength to keep going when things get tough, knowing that setbacks are part of the journey. Resilience deepens your personal power, helping you face life's challenges with confidence. Building self-discipline creates a foundation for lasting success. Discipline helps you achieve your goals, not through luck or talent, but through consistent effort. It becomes the key to unlocking your personal power, allowing you to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Self-discipline allows you to stay consistent, but without self-reflection, discipline can lead you down a path that isn't truly yours. Reflection is where clarity meets intention, giving you insight into whether your efforts align with your real desires. Many people chase goals they've inherited from society, family, or peers, only to find themselves unfulfilled once they achieve them. The Stoics emphasized that knowing yourself is essential to living a meaningful life. Through self-reflection, you uncover the difference between what you truly want and what you have been taught to pursue. Self-reflection begins by slowing down. In a world that rewards constant action, pausing to examine your thoughts and feelings can feel uncomfortable. Yet without these moments of stillness, it's easy to live on autopilot, pursuing goals that don't resonate with your values. Reflection allows you to step back, question your choices, and ensure your efforts are leading you in the right direction. This process requires honesty. Reflection means facing uncomfortable truths about your motivations, actions, and patterns. It's about asking yourself tough questions. Are these goals truly mine, or do they belong to someone else? Am I pursuing this path for fulfillment, or am I seeking approval? These questions can be challenging, but they are essential for understanding what truly matters. Reflection also helps you identify hidden patterns. Many desires are shaped by fear, insecurity, or the need for validation. Without reflection, these patterns operate in the background, influencing your decisions without your awareness. When you reflect, you bring these motivations to light, giving yourself the power to choose differently. Through reflection, you uncover your authentic values. Values are the foundation of a meaningful life, yet many people never take the time to define their own. Reflection helps you discover what you stand for and what brings you fulfillment. With this clarity, you can align your actions with your values, creating a life that feels true to you. Reflection also sharpens your ability to set meaningful goals. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of external achievements, chasing what looks good on paper but feels empty in practice. Self-reflection allows you to set goals that align with your deeper desires, reducing the risk of burnout and frustration. Meaningful goals inspire consistency. This practice teaches you to let go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes desires evolve, and old goals lose their relevance. Reflection gives you permission to release these goals without guilt, creating space for new dreams to emerge. Letting go is not failure, it's growth, a sign that you are in tune with your evolving self. Reflection also builds self-awareness. Many people spend their lives reacting to external events without understanding their inner world. Reflection helps you become aware of your triggers, desires, and emotional responses, giving you the tools to navigate life with greater clarity. With self-awareness, you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. This practice also reduces comparison. When you are clear about your own desires, the success or opinions of others lose their influence. Reflection helps you stay focused on your own path, free from the pressure to measure yourself against others. Your journey becomes your own, guided by your values rather than social expectations. Reflection allows you to reconnect with joy. Sometimes the pursuit of goals becomes so consuming that you forget why you started. Self-reflection helps you rediscover what brings you joy, allowing you to adjust your actions accordingly. Joy becomes a compass, guiding you toward what truly matters. This process also encourages gratitude. Reflection helps you recognize the progress you've made and the lessons you've learned along the way. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what you already have, creating a sense of contentment. It reminds you that fulfillment is found not only in achievement, but also in the journey. Reflection deepens your relationship with yourself. Many people go through life disconnected from their own needs and desires, trying to meet external expectations. Self-reflection brings you back to yourself, helping you understand what you truly want. This understanding strengthens your sense of self and allows you to live more authentically. This practice also improves decision-making. Reflection helps you examine your choices from multiple perspectives, ensuring that your decisions align with your values. It reduces the likelihood of regret, as each decision is made with intention rather than impulse. Clarity brings confidence, making it easier to move forward. Reflection helps you embrace failure as part of the process. When you take the time to reflect on setbacks, you gain valuable insights that help you grow. Failure becomes a teacher rather than a source of shame. Each reflection turns mistakes into lessons, building resilience and deepening your understanding of yourself. This process also fosters patience. Reflection reminds you that personal growth is not a race, but a journey. It teaches you to be patient with yourself, knowing that clarity takes time. Each step, no matter how small, is progress toward understanding yourself more deeply. Through reflection, you learn to trust yourself. Many people seek answers outside themselves, relying on others to tell them what they should want or do. Self-reflection helps you cultivate inner trust, knowing that you are capable of making choices that align with your values. This trust strengthens your independence. This practice also brings freedom from societal expectations. Reflection allows you to question the assumptions you've inherited from culture, family, or society. You begin to see which expectations align with your values and which do not. This awareness frees you to pursue a path that feels meaningful to you, rather than one dictated by others. Reflection encourages self-compassion. It's easy to be harsh with yourself when things don't go as planned. Reflection helps you approach yourself with kindness, recognizing that growth involves mistakes and missteps. Self-compassion allows you to learn from these moments without becoming discouraged. This process also deepens your relationships. When you understand yourself, you become better equipped to connect with others. Reflection helps you communicate your needs and boundaries more effectively, improving your interactions with those around you. Authentic connections grow from this clarity. Reflection teaches you to embrace change. Desires evolve, and life's circumstances shift. Reflection helps you stay flexible, adapting to change with grace. Instead of resisting growth, you welcome it, knowing that each phase of life offers new opportunities for understanding yourself. This practice also strengthens your resilience. Reflection helps you process difficult emotions and challenges, giving you the tools to bounce back. It teaches you that even in tough times, there is something to learn. Resilience grows as you reflect on your experiences, turning hardships into sources of strength. Self-reflection encourages intentional living. It helps you move away from mindless habits and toward actions that align with your values. Each reflection becomes an opportunity to course-correct, ensuring that your life reflects your true desires. Intentional living brings a sense of fulfillment that mindless routines cannot. This process also teaches you to embrace uncertainty. Reflection helps you become comfortable with not having all the answers. You learn to trust the journey, knowing that clarity will come with time. Uncertainty becomes less intimidating as you realize that exploration is part of the process. Reflection helps you develop emotional intelligence. By examining your thoughts and feelings, you become more attuned to your emotional landscape. This awareness allows you to manage your emotions more effectively, improving your well-being and your interactions with others. This practice also brings clarity to your boundaries. When you understand your true desires, it becomes easier to set boundaries that protect your peace. Reflection helps you recognize when you are overcommitting or saying yes out of obligation rather than desire. Clear boundaries create space for what matters most. Reflection deepens your sense of purpose. It helps you identify the driving forces behind your actions, ensuring that your efforts align with what you truly care about. A sense of purpose brings meaning to your life, guiding you through challenges with clarity and determination. This process also enhances your creativity. Reflection creates space for new ideas and perspectives to emerge. It helps you connect the dots between seemingly unrelated experiences, sparking creativity. When your mind is clear, inspiration flows more freely. Reflection encourages gratitude for the present moment. It helps you recognize the beauty in everyday experiences, bringing you back to the here and now. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, enhancing your sense of fulfillment. This practice also helps you release regret. Reflection allows you to process past experiences, making peace with what cannot be changed. It teaches you that every experience, even painful ones, holds value. Letting go of regret creates space for new beginnings. Reflection strengthens your intuition. The more you understand yourself, the more you trust your inner guidance. Intuition becomes a reliable compass, helping you navigate life with confidence. You learn to listen to your instincts, knowing that they are rooted in self-awareness. This process also fosters humility. Reflection helps you see where you have room to grow, reminding you that personal development is a lifelong journey. Humility allows you to approach life with curiosity, always open to learning and evolving. Self-reflection teaches you to celebrate progress. It helps you acknowledge the steps you've taken, no matter how small. Celebrating progress keeps you motivated, reminding you that growth is happening even when it's not immediately visible. This practice encourages you to focus on what you can control. Reflection helps you let go of the need to manage external outcomes, shifting your focus inward. You learn to direct your energy toward your thoughts, actions, and responses, creating a sense of empowerment. Reflection also brings clarity to your relationships. It helps you recognize which connections align with your values and which do not. This clarity allows you to nurture meaningful relationships while letting go of those that no longer serve you. This process teaches you to embrace self-acceptance. Reflection helps you see yourself fully, with all your strengths and imperfections. Self-acceptance brings peace, allowing you to move through life with confidence and grace. Through reflection, you learn to honor your true desires. You stop chasing what others expect and start pursuing what feels meaningful to you. This alignment between your actions and desires brings a sense of fulfillment that external achievements cannot provide. Reflection helps you create a life that feels authentic. It encourages you to live according to your values, not someone else's script. Each reflection brings you closer to your true self, guiding you toward a life of meaning and purpose. Honoring your true desires requires more than self-awareness. It demands boundaries. Without boundaries, even the most intentional life can be drained by the demands and expectations of others. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut people out, but lines that protect your peace and ensure your relationships remain respectful and healthy. The Stoics taught that personal freedom comes from within, and part of that freedom involves deciding how far others can influence your life. Setting boundaries allows you to show compassion to both yourself and others, creating relationships that are built on mutual respect rather than obligation. Boundaries begin with clarity. Before you can communicate them, you need to understand your limits. Reflection helps you identify what feels right for you and what doesn't, guiding you toward boundaries that support your well-being. Knowing your limits gives you confidence in your decisions, making it easier to express your boundaries with kindness and conviction. Communicating boundaries requires honesty. Many people struggle to set boundaries out of fear of rejection or conflict. Stoicism encourages direct and clear communication, focusing on expressing your needs without resentment or anger. When you are honest about your boundaries, others know where they stand, reducing misunderstandings and frustration. Setting boundaries also means letting go of the need to control how others react. People may not always respond well to your boundaries, but their reactions are not your responsibility. The Stoics taught that you cannot control others' actions, only your own. Boundaries are about protecting your peace, not managing others' emotions. Compassionate boundaries create space for both connection and individuality. Healthy relationships thrive when both people feel respected and free to be themselves. Boundaries allow each person to maintain their autonomy while still nurturing the relationship. They create balance, ensuring that neither person feels overwhelmed or neglected. Boundaries also help prevent resentment. When you say yes to things that conflict with your values, you create internal tension. Over time, this tension turns into resentment, harming both you and the relationship. Setting clear boundaries from the start prevents these feelings from building up, creating space for open and honest interaction. This practice teaches you to say no without guilt. Many people struggle with saying no, fearing they will disappoint others. But Stoic philosophy reminds you that saying no is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It allows you to honor your limits while still offering support when it aligns with your values. Boundaries also require consistency. A boundary that shifts with each request loses its strength. The more consistently you enforce your boundaries, the easier it becomes for others to understand and respect them. Consistency builds trust, showing that you are serious about maintaining your well-being. Setting boundaries teaches you to manage your time effectively. When you say yes to every request, your time becomes scattered, leaving little room for what truly matters. Boundaries help you protect your time, ensuring that your actions align with your goals and values. Your time becomes an investment in what is meaningful. This practice also helps you create emotional space. Boundaries protect you from becoming entangled in other people's emotions and problems. Compassion allows you to offer support without taking on their burdens. This emotional space keeps you grounded, ensuring that your peace remains intact even in challenging situations. Boundaries deepen your self-trust. Each time you honor your boundaries, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of protecting your well-being. This trust strengthens your confidence, making it easier to set and maintain boundaries in the future. Self-trust becomes the foundation of your personal power. Setting boundaries helps you avoid burnout. Constantly meeting the needs of others without regard for your own limits drains your energy. Boundaries ensure that you have time to rest and recharge, allowing you to show up fully when it matters. Rest becomes a necessary part of your routine, not an afterthought. This practice also strengthens your relationships. Boundaries create clarity, reducing the risk of misunderstandings and unmet expectations. Healthy relationships thrive on respect, and boundaries ensure that respect is maintained on both sides. They create a space where trust can grow, free from the tension of unspoken needs. Boundaries teach you to value your own needs. Many people prioritize others' needs over their own, leading to exhaustion and resentment. Stoicism reminds you that your well-being is just as important as anyone else's. Setting boundaries is a way to honor your needs while still offering compassion to others. This practice also helps you develop emotional resilience. Not everyone will respect your boundaries, and some may push against them. Stoic philosophy teaches you to remain calm in the face of resistance, knowing that your peace does not depend on others' approval. Resilience allows you to stand firm even when challenged. Setting boundaries encourages self-reflection. Each boundary is an opportunity to reflect on what matters most to you. It helps you clarify your values and priorities, ensuring that your actions align with your true desires. Reflection strengthens your ability to set boundaries that support your growth and well-being. Boundaries also bring freedom from people-pleasing. Many people say yes out of a desire to be liked or accepted. Stoicism teaches that your worth is not dependent on others' opinions. Boundaries free you from the need to please, allowing you to act according to your values rather than external expectations. This practice helps you develop patience with yourself. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a skill that takes time to learn. There will be moments when you struggle or second-guess yourself, but each attempt is a step toward growth. Patience allows you to embrace the learning process without judgment. Boundaries also create space for personal growth. When you protect your time and energy, you have more resources to invest in your development. Boundaries allow you to explore new interests, deepen your understanding of yourself, and pursue your goals without distraction. This practice helps you cultivate self-respect. Each boundary you set is a declaration that your well-being matters. Self-respect grows as you honor your limits, reinforcing the belief that you deserve to live according to your values. This respect becomes a source of inner strength, guiding your actions with confidence. Boundaries also teach you to let go of control. You cannot force others to respect your boundaries, but you can choose how you respond. Stoicism encourages you to release the need for control, focusing instead on what is within your power, your thoughts, actions, and decisions. This approach helps you embrace simplicity. Boundaries reduce the complexity of relationships, making it clear what is and isn't acceptable. This simplicity creates space for genuine connection, free from the confusion of unspoken expectations or hidden resentments. Setting boundaries allows you to experience joy more fully. When your relationships are rooted in respect, joy flows naturally. Boundaries create space for positive experiences, allowing you to engage with others without fear of being overwhelmed or drained. This practice also helps you build trust with others. When you set and maintain boundaries, you show others that they can rely on you to be honest and consistent. Trust grows when people know where they stand with you, creating a solid foundation for meaningful relationships. Boundaries also teach you to value quality over quantity. Not every relationship will align with your values, and that's okay. Boundaries help you focus on nurturing the connections that matter most, creating space for deeper, more fulfilling relationships. This practice helps you navigate conflict with grace. Boundaries provide a framework for handling disagreements without sacrificing respect. They allow you to express your needs calmly, even in difficult conversations, reducing the risk of escalation. Boundaries also bring clarity to your role in relationships. They help you define what is yours to carry and what belongs to others. This clarity reduces the emotional weight of relationships, ensuring that you do not take on more than you can handle. This practice helps you develop courage. Setting boundaries requires the courage to speak your truth, even when it feels uncomfortable. Stoic philosophy teaches that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in alignment with your values despite it. Boundaries also encourage acceptance. Not everyone will respect your limits, and some relationships may change as a result. Stoicism teaches that acceptance is key to inner peace. Boundaries allow you to let go of what no longer serves you, creating space for new experiences. This practice helps you embrace uncertainty. Relationships are dynamic, and boundaries may need to shift over time. Stoic wisdom encourages you to remain flexible, adjusting your boundaries as needed without losing sight of your values. Setting boundaries teaches you to lead by example. When you maintain healthy boundaries, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions demonstrate the importance of self-respect and personal growth, encouraging those around you to set their own boundaries. This practice also helps you develop gratitude. Boundaries create space for meaningful experiences, allowing you to appreciate the moments that matter. Gratitude grows as you protect your time and energy, creating a life that aligns with your values. Boundaries also deepen your connection to yourself. Each boundary you set is an act of self-care, reinforcing your commitment to your well-being. This connection becomes a source of inner peace, guiding your actions with clarity and intention. This practice teaches you to embrace imperfection. Not every boundary will be perfect, and that's okay. Each attempt is an opportunity to learn and grow. Imperfection becomes part of the journey, a reminder that growth is a process. Boundaries also bring freedom from guilt. You learn to say no without apology, knowing that your well-being is just as important as anyone else's. Guilt no longer controls your decisions, allowing you to act according to your values with confidence. This practice helps you develop compassion for yourself and others. Boundaries allow you to offer support without losing yourself in the process. Compassion becomes a guiding force, ensuring that your relationships are rooted in mutual respect and care. Setting compassionate boundaries creates space for meaningful relationships, but true personal empowerment begins with taking full responsibility for your choices. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for every outcome. It's about owning your decisions and understanding how they shape your life. In Stoicism, the key to empowerment lies in accepting that your actions, thoughts, and responses are entirely within your control. The world can be chaotic, but your choices remain your own. Taking responsibility means recognizing that, no matter the circumstances, the power to act rests with you. Responsibility starts with awareness. You cannot take charge of your choices if you are unaware of your patterns and habits. Reflection allows you to see where you've made decisions unconsciously or let circumstances dictate your path. Awareness helps you move from autopilot to intentional action, taking control of the choices that shape your life. Taking responsibility requires letting go of excuses. It's tempting to blame others or external circumstances when things go wrong. But the Stoic path teaches that power lies in what you can control, your response. Even when life feels unfair, responsibility means asking yourself what you can do next, rather than dwelling on what went wrong. This approach also involves accepting the consequences of your choices. Every decision has outcomes, and part of empowerment is embracing those outcomes without regret. Stoicism encourages you to see consequences as opportunities for learning. Even when things don't go as planned, the experience teaches you something valuable about yourself and the world. Responsibility frees you from the need for external validation. When you take ownership of your actions, you no longer depend on others to affirm your choices. Your sense of worth becomes rooted in your values, not in the opinions of others. This independence strengthens your confidence and reduces the need for approval. This practice teaches you to take initiative. Responsibility is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about acting with the resources you have. Stoic philosophy emphasizes action over hesitation. The more you practice taking initiative, the more empowered you feel, knowing that your progress depends on your willingness to act. Taking responsibility also sharpens your decision-making. When you understand that your choices have real consequences, you become more thoughtful in your approach. Stoicism encourages you to align your decisions with your values, ensuring that each action reflects your deeper purpose. This clarity leads to more meaningful outcomes. Responsibility means learning from failure without shame. Mistakes are part of life, but they do not define you unless you let them. Stoicism teaches that every failure holds a lesson, offering insight into how to grow. When you take responsibility for your failures, you extract wisdom from them, transforming setbacks into opportunities for improvement. This practice helps you develop resilience. Taking responsibility means owning your response to challenges, even when they are beyond your control. Life will present obstacles, but your power lies in how you choose to navigate them. Responsibility gives you the strength to keep going, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity to grow. Taking responsibility also means being honest with yourself. It requires acknowledging where you've fallen short and where you need to improve. This honesty is not about self-criticism, it's about self-awareness. Stoicism teaches that knowing your weaknesses is the first step to overcoming them, turning awareness into strength. This practice also helps you develop humility. Responsibility means accepting that you will not always get everything right, and that's okay. Humility allows you to learn from every experience, knowing that growth is a process. Each lesson deepens your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Responsibility also strengthens your relationships. When you take ownership of your actions, you create trust and respect in your interactions with others. You no longer shift blame or avoid accountability, fostering healthier connections based on mutual understanding. Responsibility builds the foundation for meaningful relationships. This approach encourages you to embrace change. Life is full of transitions, and responsibility means adapting to new circumstances with grace. Stoic philosophy teaches that change is a constant, and resisting it only creates suffering. Taking responsibility allows you to flow with change, finding empowerment in your ability to respond with intention. Taking responsibility teaches you to manage your time effectively. Each moment offers a choice. How you spend your time shapes your life. Responsibility means being intentional with your time, focusing on what aligns with your values and goals. This practice brings clarity, helping you prioritize what truly matters. This practice also helps you develop discipline. Responsibility means following through on your commitments, even when it's difficult. Stoic discipline teaches that consistency builds character. The more you honor your commitments, the more empowered you become, knowing that your actions align with your values. Taking responsibility also reduces stress. When you accept that you cannot control everything, you free yourself from unnecessary worry. Responsibility teaches you to focus on what is within your power, letting go of the rest. This focus brings peace as you learn to navigate life's uncertainties with calm. This approach encourages gratitude. Taking responsibility means acknowledging the role you play in your own life, recognizing that every choice brings an opportunity. Gratitude grows as you realize that even difficult moments offer a chance to learn and grow. Responsibility turns challenges into gifts. Taking responsibility also helps you develop emotional intelligence. It requires you to understand your emotions and how they influence your decisions. Stoicism teaches that emotions are signals, not commands. Responsibility allows you to respond to emotions thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. This practice also strengthens your ability to set boundaries. When you take ownership of your choices, you become more confident in saying no to what doesn't serve you. Responsibility helps you protect your time and energy, ensuring that your actions align with your values. Boundaries become a natural extension of self-respect. Taking responsibility helps you cultivate inner peace. When you know that your actions align with your values, you experience a sense of fulfillment. Peace comes from knowing that you are living intentionally, guided by purpose rather than external pressure. This peace becomes a source of strength in challenging times. This approach also teaches you to forgive yourself. Taking responsibility does not mean holding on to guilt. It means learning from mistakes and moving forward. Stoicism encourages self-compassion, reminding you that growth involves missteps. Forgiveness allows you to release the past and focus on what lies ahead. Taking responsibility also inspires others. Your willingness to own your actions sets an example for those around you. Empowerment is contagious. When others see you taking charge of your life, they are encouraged to do the same. Responsibility becomes a source of inspiration, creating a ripple effect of positive change. This practice also helps you develop patience. Growth takes time, and responsibility teaches you to embrace the process. Stoicism encourages you to focus on the journey rather than the outcome, knowing that progress comes through consistent effort. Patience allows you to stay committed, even when results are slow. Taking responsibility brings freedom from regret. When you own your choices, you let go of what might have been. Stoicism teaches that the past is beyond your control, but the present is yours to shape. Responsibility allows you to release regret, focusing on the opportunities that exist now. This approach also encourages creativity. Responsibility means finding solutions rather than waiting for circumstances to change. Stoicism teaches that obstacles are opportunities in disguise. Responsibility helps you see challenges as invitations to think creatively and find new ways forward. Taking responsibility also helps you develop focus. When you know that your choices matter, you become more intentional with your attention. Stoicism teaches that focus is a powerful tool. It allows you to direct your energy toward what aligns with your goals. Responsibility sharpens your focus, ensuring that your efforts are meaningful. This practice also strengthens your sense of purpose. Taking responsibility means aligning your actions with what you care about most. Purpose brings clarity, guiding your decisions and giving meaning to your efforts. Responsibility helps you stay connected to your purpose, even in challenging times. Taking responsibility also teaches you to embrace impermanence. Life is constantly changing, and responsibility means adapting without resistance. Stoicism reminds you that nothing lasts forever, but your ability to choose remains constant. Responsibility helps you find stability in the midst of change. This approach also helps you develop courage. Responsibility means facing challenges head-on, knowing that your response shapes the outcome. Stoicism teaches that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Responsibility gives you the strength to move forward with confidence. Taking responsibility also helps you build trust with yourself. Each time you honor your commitments, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of guiding your life. Trust becomes a source of empowerment, helping you navigate uncertainty with confidence. This practice encourages you to focus on what you can control. Responsibility means directing your energy toward what is within your power, rather than worrying about what isn't. This focus brings clarity, reducing stress, and increasing your sense of empowerment. Taking responsibility also deepens your connection with others. When you own your actions, you create space for authentic relationships. Stoicism teaches that responsibility fosters trust and respect, strengthening your connections with those around you. This approach also helps you develop humility. Responsibility means recognizing that you are always learning and growing. Stoicism reminds you that empowerment comes from embracing growth, not perfection. Humility allows you to learn from every experience, knowing that each step forward is progress. Taking responsibility also teaches you to celebrate progress. Each choice, no matter how small, is a step toward your goals. Stoicism encourages you to acknowledge your efforts, knowing that progress is built through consistent action. Responsibility helps you find joy in the journey, not just the destination. Taking responsibility for your choices strengthens your sense of personal power, but without learning how to say no, your power can easily be drained. Saying no is not about shutting people out or being selfish. It's about protecting your peace and ensuring that your time and energy are used in ways that align with your values. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from within, and part of maintaining that peace involves choosing what to accept into your life and what to decline. The ability to say no with clarity and without guilt is one of the most powerful tools for living intentionally. Saying no starts with knowing your limits. When you understand your boundaries, you recognize what drains your energy and what nurtures it. This awareness allows you to make choices that protect your well-being. Stoicism teaches that you do not owe your energy to every request, and saying no is a way of honoring those limits. The art of saying no also requires clarity of purpose. When you are clear about what matters most to you, it becomes easier to decline what does not align. Saying no is not about rejecting others. It's about staying committed to your priorities. This clarity allows you to act with intention, ensuring that your time reflects your values. Saying no teaches you to let go of guilt. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others. Stoicism reminds you that you cannot control how others feel. You can only control your response. Saying no with kindness is not selfish. It's a way of protecting your peace while still respecting the needs of others. This practice also strengthens your ability to set boundaries. Every no is an affirmation of what you will and will not accept in your life. Boundaries are not barriers. They are guidelines for healthy interactions. Saying no creates space for respectful relationships by making your limits clear from the start. Saying no teaches you to prioritize self-care. When you say yes to everything, you leave little room for rest and renewal. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of balance, reminding you that rest is essential for well-being. Saying no allows you to care for yourself, ensuring that you have the energy to show up fully when it matters most. This practice also helps you manage overwhelm. When you take on too much, even things you enjoy can become sources of stress. Saying no helps you protect your time, allowing you to focus on what truly brings you fulfillment. Peace grows when you learn to say no to obligations that drain your spirit. Saying no also encourages honesty. Stoicism teaches that authenticity is essential for inner peace. When you say yes out of obligation or fear, you create internal conflict. Saying no with honesty allows you to act in alignment with your true self, reducing the tension that arises from saying one thing and feeling another. The ability to say no strengthens your sense of freedom. Each time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you reclaim your power to choose. This freedom allows you to live intentionally, focusing your energy on what aligns with your goals and values. Peace grows when your actions reflect your true desires. Saying no also reduces resentment. When you agree to things that conflict with your values, resentment builds. Over time, this resentment harms both you and your relationships. Saying no with kindness prevents this build-up, creating space for interactions rooted in respect rather than obligation. This practice teaches you to let go of perfectionism. Many people say yes because they fear being seen as uncooperative or imperfect. Stoicism reminds you that perfection is an illusion. Saying no allows you to release the need to meet unrealistic expectations, freeing you to act according to your values. Saying no also sharpens your focus. When your time is scattered across too many commitments, it's difficult to make meaningful progress. Saying no helps you concentrate your energy on what matters most, increasing your effectiveness. Focus brings clarity, allowing you to achieve more by doing less. This practice also strengthens your ability to handle conflict. Saying no is not always easy, especially when others push against your boundaries. Stoicism teaches that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to navigate it with grace. Saying no calmly and firmly builds confidence in your ability to protect your peace. Saying no also teaches you to embrace discomfort. It can be uncomfortable to disappoint others or stand your ground, but growth comes through discomfort. Each time you say no despite the discomfort, you strengthen your ability to act according to your values. This practice builds resilience over time. The ability to say no helps you cultivate independence. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from within. When you rely less on external validation, you become more comfortable saying no. Independence grows as you learn to trust yourself, knowing that your worth is not tied to others' approval. Saying no also fosters mutual respect. When you communicate your limits clearly, you encourage others to do the same. Respectful boundaries create space for healthier relationships where each person's needs are acknowledged. Peace grows when relationships are built on mutual understanding. This practice helps you embrace simplicity. Saying no reduces the complexity of your life, creating space for what truly matters. Stoicism emphasizes the value of simplicity, reminding you that peace comes not from more, but from less. A simple life, aligned with your values, brings deeper fulfillment. Saying no also enhances self-trust. Each time you honor your boundaries, you strengthen your belief in your ability to protect your well-being. Self-trust grows through consistent practice, reinforcing your confidence in your decisions. Trust becomes a source of inner peace, guiding your actions with clarity. The ability to say no also brings clarity to your relationships. Not every connection will align with your values, and that's okay. Saying no helps you focus on nurturing the relationships that matter most, creating space for meaningful interactions. Peace grows when your connections are rooted in authenticity. Saying no also teaches you to release control. You cannot manage how others react to your boundaries, but you can choose how you respond. Stoicism reminds you that peace comes from focusing on what is within your power. Letting go of control allows you to act with calm, even in challenging situations. This practice also encourages gratitude. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, you create space for what does. Gratitude grows as you focus on what aligns with your values, deepening your sense of fulfillment. Peace comes from appreciating the life you create through intentional choices. Saying no also helps you develop emotional resilience. Rejection or disappointment from others may follow your no, but resilience allows you to stay grounded. Stoicism teaches that your peace does not depend on external circumstances. Each no becomes an opportunity to strengthen your inner stability. This practice also fosters creativity. Saying no creates space for new ideas and opportunities to emerge. When your time and energy are not consumed by obligations, inspiration flows more freely. Creativity grows when your mind is clear, allowing you to pursue what excites you. Saying no also brings clarity to your priorities. Each no is a reminder of what matters most. Stoicism encourages you to focus on what aligns with your purpose, reducing distractions. Peace grows as you commit to the actions that reflect your values. The ability to say no also teaches you to accept impermanence. Life is dynamic, and your priorities may shift over time. Saying no allows you to adapt, letting go of what no longer serves you. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from embracing change with grace. Saying no also deepens your connection to yourself. Each time you honor your boundaries, you affirm your worth. Self-connection grows as you act in alignment with your values, creating a life that reflects your true desires. Peace flows from the harmony between your actions and your inner self. This practice also helps you develop compassion. Saying no allows you to care for yourself, ensuring that you have the energy to care for others when it aligns with your values. Compassion grows when you balance your needs with those of others. Saying no also teaches you to embrace authenticity. Each no is an act of self-expression, a statement of what you stand for. Stoicism reminds you that peace comes from living authentically, guided by your values rather than external expectations. This practice also helps you release regret. When you act with intention, there is no need to second-guess your decisions. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from accepting the choices you make. Each no becomes a step toward a life aligned with your true self. Saying no protects your peace, but even with clear boundaries, attachment to outcomes can quietly steal your sense of freedom. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means releasing the need to control how things unfold. Stoicism teaches that while effort is within your control, outcomes are not. By focusing on the process rather than the result, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration and anxiety. Trusting the process brings a deeper sense of peace, knowing that your value lies not in what you achieve, but in how you show up. Detachment begins with understanding that results are unpredictable. No matter how well you prepare or plan, there will always be variables beyond your control. Clinging to specific outcomes creates unnecessary stress. Stoicism reminds you that peace lies in directing your attention to what you can control, your efforts and actions. Trusting the process shifts your focus from achievement to growth. Success is not always immediate or obvious, but each step forward brings lessons that shape you. Detachment allows you to embrace the journey, knowing that the experience itself is valuable, regardless of the outcome. Every effort becomes an opportunity to grow. This mindset teaches you patience. Many people abandon their goals because the results don't come quickly enough. But growth is a gradual process, and patience allows you to stay committed even when progress feels slow. Detachment helps you appreciate the small steps, knowing they are part of a larger journey. Detachment also frees you from the need for external validation. When your self-worth is tied to results, you become vulnerable to the opinions of others. Stoicism encourages you to find value in your efforts, regardless of whether they are recognized. Trusting the process helps you act according to your values, not for applause. This practice allows you to experience true freedom. When you let go of rigid expectations, you open yourself to new possibilities. Detachment teaches you that outcomes are not the final measure of success. What matters is how you engage with each moment. Freedom grows when you release the need to control every detail. Trusting the process also helps you manage disappointment. Not every effort will lead to the desired result, but disappointment becomes less overwhelming when you are not attached to outcomes. Stoicism teaches that setbacks are part of life, and each one offers a chance to learn and grow. Resilience grows from this perspective. Detachment encourages curiosity. When you are not fixated on a specific outcome, you become more open to new experiences and opportunities. Curiosity allows you to explore without fear of failure, knowing that the journey itself holds value. This openness brings unexpected growth and insight. This practice also strengthens your ability to adapt. Life is full of surprises, and rigid expectations can leave you unprepared for change. Detachment allows you to adjust your course as needed, without losing sight of your values. Adaptability becomes a strength, helping you navigate life with grace. Detachment teaches you to enjoy the present moment. When you are focused solely on results, it's easy to miss the beauty of the process. Trusting the process allows you to engage fully with each step, finding joy in the act of doing rather than in the end goal. Peace grows from this presence. This approach also reduces anxiety. When you are attached to outcomes, uncertainty becomes a source of fear. Detachment shifts your focus to the present, reducing the need to predict or control the future. Anxiety fades as you learn to trust that the process will unfold as it should. Detachment also helps you release the need for perfection. Many people hesitate to act because they fear making mistakes. Stoicism reminds you that perfection is not required, only effort. Trusting the process allows you to take imperfect action, knowing that growth comes through practice, not perfection. This practice encourages you to celebrate effort, not just results. Each time you show up, even when it's hard, you make progress. Detachment allows you to recognize the value of your effort, regardless of the outcome. This mindset builds confidence, knowing that success lies in consistency. Detachment also deepens your relationship with yourself. When you focus on the process, you become more attuned to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This self-awareness allows you to grow in ways that external achievements cannot. Peace grows from this connection to yourself. Trusting the process also strengthens your resilience. Life's challenges can feel overwhelming when you are attached to specific outcomes. Detachment helps you see obstacles as part of the journey, not as roadblocks. Resilience grows as you learn to navigate difficulties with patience and grace. This mindset encourages you to redefine success. Instead of measuring success by external achievements, you begin to see it as a reflection of your growth and effort. Detachment allows you to find meaning in the process, not just in the result. This shift brings a deeper sense of fulfillment. Detachment also teaches you to release control. Many people exhaust themselves trying to control every aspect of their lives. Stoicism reminds you that true power lies in how you respond, not in controlling outcomes. Trusting the process frees you from the burden of control, allowing you to act with clarity. This approach also helps you cultivate humility. Detachment teaches you that success is not entirely within your control. Luck and circumstance also play a role. Humility allows you to stay grounded, knowing that effort is your contribution, but outcomes are beyond your reach. This perspective fosters gratitude. Detachment encourages gratitude for the journey. When you are not fixated on the end goal, you begin to appreciate the process itself. Each step becomes a gift, offering new experiences and insights. Gratitude grows as you learn to find joy in the journey, not just in the destination. This practice also strengthens your ability to let go. Clinging to outcomes can create unnecessary suffering. Detachment teaches you that letting go is not giving up. It is trusting that life will unfold as it should. Peace grows from this release, creating space for new possibilities. Trusting the process also helps you embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and detachment allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence. Instead of fearing the unknown, you learn to trust that each step will reveal what you need to know. This trust brings peace, even in uncertainty. Detachment also teaches you to act with integrity. When you are not attached to outcomes, you become free to act according to your values. Stoicism encourages you to focus on what is right, regardless of the result. Integrity becomes your guide, bringing peace through alignment with your principles. This mindset also encourages you to view failure differently. Instead of seeing failure as a setback, you begin to see it as part of the process. Detachment allows you to learn from mistakes without becoming discouraged. Failure becomes a stepping stone to growth, not an endpoint. Detachment also strengthens your sense of purpose. When your actions are guided by purpose rather than outcomes, you experience a deeper sense of meaning. Stoicism teaches that purpose lies in how you engage with the world, not in what you achieve. Peace grows from this alignment with your purpose. This practice helps you release the fear of missing out. When you trust the process, you understand that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Detachment frees you from the need to chase every opportunity, allowing you to focus on what aligns with your values. Trusting the process also encourages self-compassion. Detachment teaches you that setbacks are part of growth, not a reflection of your worth. Self-compassion allows you to learn from challenges without judgment. Peace grows as you embrace your imperfections. This mindset also helps you embrace change. Detachment allows you to flow with life's transitions, knowing that each change brings new opportunities. Stoicism teaches that change is a constant, and trusting the process helps you navigate it with grace. Peace grows from this acceptance. Detachment also fosters deeper connections with others. When you release expectations, you become more present in your relationships. Stoicism encourages you to engage with others authentically, without attachment to how they respond. Peace grows from this openness. This practice also helps you manage stress. Detachment teaches you to focus on what you can control, your effort, while releasing the rest. Stress fades as you learn to trust the process, knowing that outcomes will unfold as they should. Trusting the process encourages you to act with courage. Detachment allows you to take risks without fear of failure, knowing that each step brings growth. Courage grows as you learn to act, not for guaranteed results, but for the experience itself. Peace flows from this freedom. Trusting the process frees you from attachment, but even as you move with peace and intention, subtle forms of control can creep in unnoticed. Control is not always loud or obvious. It often takes quiet, hidden forms that influence thoughts, choices, and emotions. Stoicism teaches that awareness is the first step to freedom. Recognizing these subtle forms of control allows you to respond consciously rather than react blindly. Without this awareness, you risk unknowingly giving your power away, surrendering your peace to forces that don't serve your well-being. Control often disguises itself as obligation. People may frame their requests in ways that make refusal feel impossible. Words like, "you should," or "if you care," manipulate your sense of responsibility. Stoic awareness helps you pause and question, are these expectations aligned with my values, or am I being led by guilt? Recognizing this shift allows you to make deliberate choices rather than complying out of pressure. Another form of subtle control is fear-based influence. People, systems, or narratives may tap into your fears, fear of rejection, failure, or loss, to shape your behavior. Stoicism teaches that fear, while natural, must not rule your decisions. Awareness of how fear operates helps you step back, allowing you to act with reason rather than emotion. Social approval can also act as an invisible force of control. It feels good to be liked, but the need for acceptance can nudge you into choices that betray your true self. Awareness helps you notice when you are chasing approval rather than acting in alignment with your values. This clarity allows you to prioritize inner peace over fleeting validation. Control can take the form of unspoken expectations. Sometimes people do not directly ask for what they want, but subtly express dissatisfaction when you don't meet their hidden demands. Stoic awareness teaches you to recognize these dynamics without taking them personally. Noticing these patterns helps you respond calmly, setting boundaries with grace. Another subtle form of control is emotional manipulation. People may use emotions like guilt, sadness, or anger to shape your actions. Stoicism reminds you that while you can empathize with others, their emotions are not yours to carry. Awareness of emotional manipulation allows you to offer compassion without surrendering your peace. Control also lurks in assumptions about roles and obligations. Cultural, familial, or societal norms may assign you roles that limit your freedom. Awareness helps you question these roles, asking whether they reflect your values or simply habits you've adopted without reflection. Recognizing this influence allows you to redefine your identity with intention. Language is another tool of subtle control. The way people phrase requests or frame situations can shape your perception. Words like always or never create absolutes that limit your options. Stoicism teaches you to listen carefully, noticing when language is used to control your thoughts or decisions. This awareness allows you to think critically. Control also hides in the illusion of scarcity. You may feel pressured to act quickly, fearing that opportunities will disappear if you hesitate. Awareness helps you step back and evaluate. Is this urgency real, Or am I being manipulated into rushing? Stoic reflection allows you to act with calm, knowing that true opportunities align with your values. Subtle control often comes through comparisons. Others may subtly encourage you to measure your worth against theirs or societal standards. Awareness helps you recognize when comparisons are influencing your self-perception. Stoicism reminds you that your value is not determined by external measures, but by how you align with your principles. Control can also manifest through favors and reciprocity. Sometimes people offer help or gifts with the unspoken expectation of future repayment. Stoicism encourages you to question these dynamics. Awareness allows you to accept or decline with clarity, ensuring that your actions are motivated by genuine intent rather than hidden obligations. Subtle control often operates through traditions and customs. While traditions can be meaningful, they can also impose expectations that conflict with your values. Stoic awareness helps you reflect on whether these practices serve your growth or merely conform to societal pressure. This reflection allows you to engage with traditions intentionally. Another form of control is the fear of conflict. You may avoid saying no or expressing your needs to keep the peace. Stoicism teaches that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of clarity. Awareness helps you see when fear of conflict is guiding your actions, allowing you to respond assertively without aggression. Subtle control can also take the shape of expert opinions. While seeking advice is wise, placing too much trust in external authorities can limit your autonomy. Stoicism encourages you to weigh opinions carefully, relying on your judgment. Awareness helps you distinguish between useful guidance and undue influence. Control sometimes hides in routines and habits. What begins as a helpful structure can become a rigid pattern that limits your freedom. Awareness allows you to reflect on your routines, asking whether they still serve your purpose. Stoicism teaches that adaptability is key to maintaining peace and balance. Control can also come through distractions. Endless streams of information, entertainment, or obligations can scatter your attention, leaving little room for intentional action. Stoic awareness teaches you to recognize distractions and refocus on what aligns with your values. Peace grows when your attention is directed with purpose. People may also use subtle control through flattery. Compliments, while pleasant, can sometimes come with expectations. Stoicism encourages you to appreciate kind words without becoming attached to them. Awareness helps you recognize when flattery is a tool for influence, allowing you to maintain clarity and composure. Subtle control often operates through subtle exclusion. People may withhold information or access to create dependency. Stoicism teaches that your sense of worth should not rely on external validation. Awareness helps you notice these dynamics, allowing you to cultivate independence and trust in yourself. Control can also manifest through self-doubt planted by others. Criticism framed as concern can make you question your choices. Stoicism teaches you to evaluate criticism carefully, separating helpful feedback from attempts to undermine your confidence. Awareness strengthens your ability to trust your path. Subtle control can be embedded in group dynamics. The pressure to conform can shape behavior without explicit demands. Stoicism encourages you to maintain your individuality, even in group settings. Awareness helps you navigate social situations with integrity, ensuring that you act according to your principles. Control also takes the form of implied consequences. People may hint at negative outcomes if you don't comply with their wishes. Stoicism reminds you that fear-based decisions rarely lead to peace. Awareness helps you assess these implied threats, allowing you to act with reason rather than fear. Subtle control can also appear in the form of over-apologizing. People may use apologies to gain sympathy or lower your defenses. Stoicism encourages balanced communication, offering genuine apologies when needed without allowing others to manipulate you through excessive remorse. Awareness brings clarity to these interactions. Subtle control often hides in false urgency. People may insist that immediate action is necessary to pressure you into compliance. Stoicism teaches that few things in life require instant decisions. Awareness helps you pause, evaluate the situation, and respond with intention rather than reacting impulsively. Control also manifests in narratives that suggest you owe others for your success or happiness. Gratitude is important, but Stoicism reminds you that you are ultimately responsible for your choices. Awareness allows you to acknowledge support without feeling indebted or controlled by it. Another subtle form of control is passive aggression. Indirect comments or actions can create confusion, leaving you questioning yourself. Stoicism encourages you to address these situations calmly and directly. Awareness helps you recognize passive aggression, allowing you to respond with clarity and strength. Control can also appear through the illusion of security. People may offer stability or comfort in exchange for compliance. Stoicism teaches that true security comes from within, not from external sources. Awareness helps you evaluate these offers carefully, ensuring that your choices align with your principles. Subtle control sometimes operates through over-helpfulness. Excessive offers of assistance can create dependency. Stoicism encourages you to cultivate independence, relying on your abilities. Awareness allows you to appreciate help while setting boundaries to maintain your autonomy. Subtle control also lurks in the stories you tell yourself. Internal narratives shaped by past experiences or societal norms can limit your growth. Stoicism teaches that awareness of your thoughts is key to freedom. Recognizing these stories allows you to rewrite them with intention. Control can also hide in avoidance. Avoiding difficult conversations or decisions allows external forces to shape your life. Stoicism encourages courage and clarity. Awareness helps you confront avoidance patterns, allowing you to act with purpose even in uncomfortable situations. Recognizing subtle control strengthens your ability to live intentionally. Each moment of awareness brings clarity, allowing you to reclaim your power. Stoicism teaches that freedom is not the absence of influence, but the ability to choose consciously. Awareness becomes your guide, leading you toward a life of peace and purpose. Recognizing subtle control helps you reclaim your freedom, but managing expectations in relationships is just as essential to protect your peace. Epictetus taught that much of life's frustration comes from placing unrealistic expectations on others. When relationships become weighed down by assumptions of how people should behave or respond, disappointment follows. Stoicism encourages you to approach relationships with clarity, patience, and acceptance, releasing the need to control how others act. Managing expectations is not about lowering your standards. It's about shifting focus from what you wish others would do to how you can respond wisely. Expectations often arise from unspoken assumptions. You might believe that those closest to you should understand your needs without you expressing them. Epictetus teaches that it is unreasonable to expect others to read your mind. Clear communication brings alignment, reducing misunderstandings. When you express your needs openly, you remove the guesswork, creating space for genuine connection. Placing too much weight on others' behavior sets you up for disappointment. Epictetus reminds us that every individual acts according to their nature, influenced by their own experiences and beliefs. Expecting someone to meet your every desire is a recipe for frustration. Awareness of this truth allows you to release rigid expectations and approach relationships with compassion. Managing expectations also helps you cultivate patience. People grow and change at their own pace. Frustration arises when you expect others to evolve according to your timeline. Epictetus teaches that patience allows you to honor each person's unique journey, building healthier relationships through acceptance rather than pressure. This approach encourages you to focus on what you can control, your own actions. Instead of waiting for others to change, you can adjust how you engage with them. Epictetus reminds us that peace comes from aligning your behavior with your values, not from trying to change those around you. This shift brings a sense of empowerment in relationships. Managing expectations helps you embrace imperfection. No one is flawless, and expecting perfection creates unnecessary tension. Epictetus encourages you to view mistakes, both yours and others, as opportunities for growth. This perspective fosters forgiveness, strengthening your relationships by allowing room for error. This practice also reduces resentment. When expectations are left unmet, frustration can grow into resentment, poisoning relationships. Epictetus teaches that letting go of rigid expectations prevents this build-up. Acceptance frees you to appreciate others for who they are rather than what you wish they would become. Managing expectations also deepens your connection with yourself. When you release the need for others to validate you, you strengthen your sense of self-worth. Epictetus reminds you that your value is not tied to external approval. This inner confidence allows you to engage in relationships with authenticity. This practice helps you develop empathy. When you manage your expectations, you become more attuned to others' perspectives and struggles. Epictetus teaches that understanding others' viewpoints reduces conflict and builds mutual respect. Empathy fosters deeper, more meaningful connections. Expectations can also create pressure within relationships. When people feel they must meet certain standards to earn your approval, the relationship loses its authenticity. Epictetus encourages you to release these pressures, creating space for honest interaction. Relationships built on freedom rather than obligation thrive. This mindset allows you to embrace change. Relationships evolve, and clinging to old expectations can cause tension. Epictetus teaches that accepting change is essential to maintaining harmony. Managing expectations helps you adapt to shifting dynamics, ensuring that your relationships remain vibrant and meaningful. Managing expectations also teaches you to value effort over outcome. Epictetus reminds us that outcomes are often beyond our control, but effort is not. Appreciating the effort others put into the relationship, even if it falls short of your ideal, fosters gratitude. This shift nurtures peace and contentment. This practice encourages you to celebrate small victories. When you release grand expectations, you learn to appreciate the small, meaningful moments in relationships. Epictetus teaches that joy comes from engaging fully with each interaction, no matter how ordinary. These small moments become the foundation of lasting connections. Managing expectations also helps you release control. Relationships cannot be micromanaged, and attempting to control every aspect creates stress. Epictetus reminds us that peace comes from focusing on your own actions, not the actions of others. Letting go of control allows relationships to unfold naturally. This mindset fosters independence. Epictetus teaches that while relationships are important, they should not be your sole source of happiness. Managing expectations ensures that you maintain your sense of self, even within close connections. Independence strengthens your relationships by allowing you to engage from a place of wholeness. Managing expectations also helps you practice gratitude. When you stop focusing on what is lacking, you begin to appreciate what is present. Epictetus encourages you to cultivate gratitude for the people in your life as they are. Gratitude nurtures peace, turning your attention toward what is good in your relationships. This practice allows you to approach relationships with humility. Epictetus reminds us that others are not responsible for fulfilling our every need. Humility helps you recognize that relationships are a shared experience where both parties bring value. This perspective fosters mutual respect and understanding. Managing expectations also reduces conflict. Many disagreements arise from unmet assumptions. Epictetus teaches that clear communication and realistic expectations prevent misunderstandings. When you release assumptions, you create space for open dialogue and resolution. This mindset helps you navigate disappointment. Relationships will not always meet your expectations, and that is natural. Epictetus reminds us that disappointment is a part of life, not a personal failure. Acceptance allows you to move through disappointment gracefully, without it damaging the relationship. Managing expectations also encourages personal growth. When you stop trying to change others, you turn your focus inward. Epictetus teaches that the path to peace lies in self-improvement. This shift empowers you to grow, becoming the best version of yourself within your relationships. This practice also strengthens resilience. Relationships, like life, come with challenges. Managing expectations helps you stay grounded during difficult times. Epictetus reminds us that resilience grows when you focus on what you can control, your thoughts and actions, rather than external circumstances. Managing expectations also enhances trust. When people feel free to be themselves without fear of judgment, trust deepens. Epictetus encourages you to approach relationships with acceptance, creating a foundation of mutual respect. Trust allows relationships to flourish. This mindset helps you set healthy boundaries. Managing expectations ensures that you are clear about what you can offer and what you need. Epictetus teaches that boundaries are essential for maintaining peace within relationships. Clear boundaries create space for meaningful connection without overstepping. Managing expectations also brings freedom from comparison. Epictetus reminds us that each relationship is unique, and comparing them to others creates unnecessary tension. Freedom grows when you appreciate your relationships for what they are, rather than measuring them against unrealistic ideals. This practice encourages forgiveness. Expectations often lead to disappointment, but forgiveness allows you to release the burden of unmet hopes. Epictetus teaches that forgiveness is an act of freedom. It frees both you and the other person from the weight of past mistakes. Managing expectations also fosters contentment. When you release the need for relationships to meet every ideal, you find peace in the present. Epictetus teaches that contentment grows from accepting life as it is, rather than as you wish it would be. This acceptance brings a sense of calm. This mindset encourages mutual growth. Relationships are an opportunity for both people to grow. Managing expectations allows you to support each other's journeys without imposing demands. Epictetus teaches that growth flourishes in relationships built on mutual respect and encouragement. Managing expectations also helps you appreciate diversity. Each person brings a unique perspective to the relationship. Epictetus reminds us that peace grows when we embrace these differences rather than resisting them. Diversity enriches relationships, offering new ways of seeing the world. This practice helps you release the fear of loss. Relationships may change or end, but Epictetus teaches that clinging to what is beyond your control creates suffering. Managing expectations allows you to engage fully while the relationship lasts without fearing the outcome. Managing expectations also nurtures compassion. Epictetus encourages you to recognize that others, like you, are doing their best within their limitations. Compassion allows you to respond with kindness, even when things don't go as planned. This approach helps you embrace simplicity. Complex expectations create unnecessary stress. Epictetus teaches that peace lies in simplicity, approaching relationships with clarity, honesty, and acceptance. Simplicity allows you to engage with others without the weight of excessive expectations. Managing expectations also teaches you to let go of entitlement. Relationships are not transactions where people owe you something in return. Epictetus reminds us that peace comes from giving freely without expecting anything in return. This generosity nurtures authentic connections. This practice strengthens your ability to navigate uncertainty. Relationships, like life, are unpredictable. Epictetus encourages you to embrace this uncertainty with grace. Managing expectations allows you to engage fully with each moment, trusting that the relationship will unfold as it should. Managing expectations also helps you release regret. Epictetus teaches that dwelling on what could have been creates unnecessary suffering. When you focus on the present and manage your expectations, you free yourself from the weight of past disappointments. This mindset fosters joy. When you release rigid expectations, you create space for joy to flow naturally. Epictetus reminds us that peace grows when we engage with life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Joy flourishes in relationships built on acceptance. Managing expectations brings peace to relationships, but true contentment comes from practicing gratitude for your own path. Life rarely unfolds the way we expect, and comparing your journey to others can create frustration. Gratitude offers an antidote, shifting your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It teaches you to honor your progress, no matter how slow or imperfect it feels. When you learn to appreciate your unique path, you free yourself from the pressure to meet external timelines or standards. Gratitude nurtures peace within, allowing you to walk your journey with clarity and confidence. Practicing gratitude starts with acceptance. You may not have chosen every twist and turn in your path, but resisting your reality only creates suffering. Gratitude shifts your attention toward what is good, even in difficult moments. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means finding peace with where you are so you can move forward with purpose. Gratitude transforms setbacks into lessons. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to feel discouraged. But gratitude allows you to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Each obstacle becomes a teacher, guiding you toward deeper understanding. Gratitude helps you trust that even difficulties have value. This practice also encourages you to celebrate small wins. Many people wait for grand achievements to feel grateful, but the small steps matter just as much. Gratitude allows you to recognize and appreciate the quiet progress you make every day. Each small victory strengthens your resolve to keep moving forward. Gratitude brings freedom from comparison. It's easy to get caught up in how others are doing, but focusing on someone else's journey distracts you from your own. Gratitude helps you appreciate your unique path, releasing the need to measure your progress against others. Peace grows when you honor your own journey. This practice nurtures patience. Growth is not always linear, and some seasons of life move slower than others. Gratitude reminds you that each phase serves a purpose, even if it's not immediately clear. Patience allows you to embrace the process, knowing that progress unfolds in its own time. Gratitude teaches you to find joy in the present moment. It's tempting to place happiness on future achievements, but life happens now. Gratitude shifts your attention to what is already good, helping you engage fully with each moment. Joy flourishes when you embrace the present without waiting for perfection. This mindset also helps you let go of regret. Dwelling on past choices drains your energy and clouds your view of the present. Gratitude allows you to release regret by focusing on the lessons learned and the progress made. Every experience, even the difficult ones, shapes your growth. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. Life will always have ups and downs, but gratitude helps you stay grounded during the tough times. It reminds you that even in moments of struggle, there is something to appreciate, whether it's the strength to endure or the wisdom gained along the way. This practice fosters self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned, but gratitude teaches you to be kind to yourself. It reminds you that growth is not about perfection, but about persistence. Self-compassion allows you to appreciate your efforts, even when results are slow. Gratitude helps you focus on what is within your control. Life is full of uncertainties, but your attitude is always within your power. Gratitude shifts your attention to what you can influence, your thoughts, actions, and responses. This focus brings a sense of empowerment and peace. This mindset also nurtures humility. Gratitude reminds you that every success is built on many factors, some of which are beyond your control. Humility allows you to appreciate the support, luck, and opportunities that contribute to your journey. It helps you stay grounded, knowing that no one walks alone. Gratitude strengthens your sense of purpose. When you focus on what is good in your life, your sense of direction becomes clearer. Gratitude helps you see how your efforts align with your values, reinforcing your commitment to your path. Purpose grows when your actions reflect your gratitude. This practice also deepens your connection with others. Gratitude allows you to appreciate the people who support you, creating space for meaningful relationships. Expressing gratitude strengthens these connections, reminding others that their presence matters. Relationships rooted in gratitude flourish. Gratitude teaches you to trust the timing of your life. It's easy to feel frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. But gratitude reminds you that every step, even the slow ones, has value. Trusting the process allows you to release the need to rush, bringing peace to your journey. This mindset also helps you embrace change. Life is constantly evolving, and gratitude allows you to welcome these shifts with grace. Instead of clinging to what was, gratitude helps you focus on what is and what can be. Peace grows when you flow with change rather than resist it. Gratitude helps you appreciate your progress even when it feels invisible. Not all growth is measurable. Some changes happen quietly within. Gratitude teaches you to recognize these internal shifts, strengthening your confidence in the path you are walking. Growth is not always visible, but it is always valuable. This practice encourages balance. Ambition can push you to achieve more, but gratitude reminds you to appreciate what you have already accomplished. It teaches you that rest and reflection are just as important as action. Balance grows when you honor both progress and pause. Gratitude also fosters contentment. It's natural to strive for more, but gratitude teaches you that peace is not found in constant striving. Contentment grows when you appreciate what you already have, recognizing that your worth is not tied to external achievements. Gratitude brings fulfillment to your journey. This mindset nurtures optimism. Life's challenges can feel overwhelming, but gratitude shifts your focus to what is good. Optimism grows when you train your mind to see the silver linings, even in difficult situations. Gratitude helps you approach challenges with hope and courage. Gratitude also teaches you to release expectations. When you are grateful for the present, you free yourself from rigid ideas of how things should unfold. Gratitude allows you to engage with life as it is, finding beauty in its unpredictability. Peace grows when you let go of expectations and trust the journey. This practice also encourages generosity. Gratitude opens your heart, reminding you of the abundance already present in your life. Generosity flows naturally when you feel grateful, creating a cycle of giving and receiving. Relationships thrive when they are nurtured by gratitude and generosity. Gratitude helps you embrace simplicity. In a world that often equates more with better, gratitude teaches you that enough is a gift. It reminds you that peace comes not from accumulation, but from appreciating what you have. Simplicity brings clarity, making space for what truly matters. This mindset strengthens your ability to savor life's moments. Gratitude encourages you to slow down and appreciate the little things: a kind word, a quiet morning, or a moment of connection. Life feels richer when you learn to savor these moments, knowing that they are the essence of joy. Gratitude also nurtures inner peace. When you focus on what is good, your mind becomes calmer and clearer. Gratitude helps you release unnecessary worries, bringing peace to your thoughts. This inner peace becomes a steady companion on your journey, guiding you through life's challenges. This practice encourages mindfulness. Gratitude draws your attention to the present moment, helping you engage fully with what is happening now. Mindfulness grows when you cultivate gratitude, allowing you to experience life with greater awareness and appreciation. Gratitude strengthens your relationship with yourself. When you appreciate your efforts, strengths, and growth, you build self-trust. Gratitude teaches you to value yourself, not for what you achieve, but for who you are. Self-acceptance flourishes in the presence of gratitude. This mindset also helps you release the fear of missing out. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. Peace grows when you stop chasing what is missing and start appreciating what is present. Life feels fuller when viewed through the lens of gratitude. Gratitude teaches you to approach challenges with grace. Life's difficulties are inevitable, but gratitude helps you find meaning within them. It reminds you that even in hardship, there is something to be grateful for: a lesson, a strength, or a new beginning. Grace grows when you meet challenges with gratitude. Gratitude nurtures inner peace, but life will not always offer ease or comfort. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is not something to fear. It is a path to greater strength. Growth lies beyond what feels familiar, and only through facing discomfort can we cultivate true resilience. Epictetus believed that avoiding discomfort weakens the mind, leaving us more susceptible to emotional turmoil. Embracing discomfort, on the other hand, builds mental toughness, allowing us to stay calm and focused even when circumstances are difficult. This practice equips us to respond, not react, to life's inevitable challenges. Discomfort sharpens your awareness. When you sit with discomfort instead of running from it, you become more attuned to your thoughts and feelings. This awareness helps you separate what is within your control from what is not. With each uncomfortable moment, you learn to focus on what matters, discarding unnecessary distractions. Enduring discomfort teaches you patience. Mental toughness grows when you learn to tolerate delays and setbacks without frustration. Life often requires waiting, and impatience only adds to suffering. Patience allows you to hold steady, knowing that challenges are temporary and progress takes time. Facing discomfort directly builds courage. It is easy to avoid difficult conversations, decisions, or tasks. But avoidance only strengthens fear. Each time you confront discomfort head-on, your courage grows. You discover that fear loses its power when you act in spite of it, reinforcing your ability to face future challenges with confidence. Discomfort also reveals your inner strength. It is in the moments of struggle that your true capabilities come to light. Stoicism teaches that you often underestimate your ability to endure. By embracing discomfort, you discover reserves of strength you didn't know you had, deepening your self-trust. This practice helps you build emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and discomfort comes in many forms: stress, conflict, loss, or disappointment. Stoic tools teach you to ride these emotional waves without being overwhelmed. Mental toughness grows when you learn to remain calm amidst emotional storms. Embracing discomfort teaches you discipline. Growth requires effort, and discipline allows you to stay consistent even when motivation fades. The ability to endure discomfort helps you stay committed to your goals, knowing that success lies on the other side of persistence. Discipline becomes the backbone of mental toughness. Discomfort strengthens your focus. When you can work through distractions and discomfort without giving up, you train your mind to stay on task. Stoicism teaches that concentration is a skill cultivated through practice. Each time you push through discomfort, your focus sharpens, helping you achieve more with less effort. This practice also fosters humility. Discomfort reminds you that you are not invincible and that everyone struggles. Humility allows you to accept challenges without bitterness, understanding that difficulty is part of life's journey. Mental toughness grows when you acknowledge your limitations without giving in to defeat. Discomfort teaches adaptability. Life will not always go as planned, and rigid expectations can leave you unprepared for change. Stoicism encourages you to adjust to circumstances rather than resist them. Adaptability becomes a key aspect of mental toughness, allowing you to thrive in ever-changing conditions. Embracing discomfort also helps you release entitlement. Stoicism teaches that nothing is guaranteed, not comfort, not success, nor happiness. Releasing entitlement frees you from unnecessary frustration, helping you focus on what you can control. Mental toughness grows when you learn to accept life as it is, without demanding constant ease. Discomfort reveals what truly matters. When life becomes difficult, you are forced to prioritize. Stoicism teaches that stripping away unnecessary comforts clarifies your values. Mental toughness grows when you align your actions with what matters most, even in the face of hardship. This practice reduces fear of failure. Discomfort often accompanies failure, but Stoicism teaches that failure is not an endpoint. It is part of the process. Mental toughness grows when you learn to embrace mistakes as lessons, understanding that each setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. Discomfort also builds self-discipline. The ability to endure discomfort is a skill that can be strengthened through daily habits. Whether it's exercising, waking up early, or practicing delayed gratification, small acts of discipline train your mind to stay in control, even when faced with challenges. Embracing discomfort fosters independence. When you no longer rely on comfort or external validation to feel secure, you become more self-reliant. Stoicism teaches that true freedom lies in the ability to endure discomfort without losing your sense of self. Independence grows when you learn to stand firm, even in adversity. Discomfort strengthens your ability to say no. Sometimes discomfort arises from setting boundaries or standing up for your values. Mental toughness helps you stay firm, even when saying no feels uncomfortable. Stoicism teaches that protecting your peace is worth the temporary discomfort of difficult conversations. This practice teaches you to manage stress. Stress is a natural part of life, but Stoicism shows you how to navigate it without becoming overwhelmed. By embracing discomfort, you learn to tolerate stress without letting it control your actions. Mental toughness grows when you stay grounded, even under pressure. Discomfort deepens your gratitude. When you endure difficulty, you gain a greater appreciation for moments of ease. Stoicism teaches that peace is found not in avoiding discomfort, but in recognizing the value of both struggle and rest. Gratitude grows when you embrace life's full spectrum, not just its comforts. This mindset also builds self-trust. Each time you face discomfort and emerge stronger, your belief in yourself deepens. Stoicism reminds you that self-trust is earned through action. Mental toughness grows when you trust your ability to navigate challenges, knowing that you have what it takes to endure. Discomfort helps you detach from external outcomes. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control results, only your efforts. When you embrace discomfort, you learn to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Mental toughness grows when you let go of expectations, finding peace in the effort itself. This practice sharpens your decision-making. Difficult choices often come with discomfort, but Stoicism encourages you to act with clarity. Mental toughness grows when you learn to make decisions based on reason rather than fear. Each tough decision strengthens your ability to choose wisely under pressure. Discomfort helps you develop emotional regulation. Emotions are natural, but Stoicism teaches that you do not have to act on every feeling. Mental toughness grows when you learn to acknowledge your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. This skill allows you to respond thoughtfully, even in difficult situations. Embracing discomfort teaches you to let go of what you cannot control. Stoicism reminds you that clinging to control creates unnecessary suffering. Mental toughness grows when you learn to release the need to manage every outcome, focusing instead on what you can influence. Discomfort builds mental clarity. When you strip away distractions and face challenges directly, your mind becomes clearer. Stoicism teaches that clarity comes from simplicity. Mental toughness grows when you focus on what matters, letting go of what does not serve your path. This practice encourages you to welcome growth. Growth often feels uncomfortable, but it is through discomfort that you expand your abilities. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is not an obstacle. It is a sign that you are stretching beyond your limits. Mental toughness grows when you embrace growth, even when it feels challenging. Embracing discomfort also nurtures compassion. When you face challenges, you develop empathy for others going through their struggles. Stoicism teaches that compassion is a strength, not a weakness. Mental toughness grows when you balance strength with kindness, recognizing that everyone carries their own burdens. Discomfort teaches you to value progress over perfection. Stoicism encourages you to focus on consistent effort rather than flawless results. Mental toughness grows when you appreciate progress, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. This mindset also reduces the fear of discomfort itself. When you practice enduring discomfort regularly, it loses its power over you. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is temporary, but the strength you gain from it is lasting. Mental toughness grows when you stop fearing discomfort and start embracing it as part of life's journey. Discomfort strengthens your resilience, but true freedom lies in knowing where to direct your energy. Epictetus teaches that peace comes from focusing only on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. Everything else, including other people's behavior, outcomes, or circumstances, lies beyond your influence. By redirecting your attention inward, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and emotional turmoil. This practice offers a path to inner stability, where your sense of peace no longer depends on external factors. Mastering this mindset creates space for true freedom, freedom from manipulation, fear, and frustration. Focusing on what you can control sharpens your decision-making. When your mind is not cluttered with worries about things outside your influence, your choices become clearer. You can act with purpose, knowing that you've considered only what is within your reach. This clarity prevents you from being overwhelmed by the uncontrollable. This mindset helps you release frustration. Much of life's stress comes from trying to change what cannot be changed. Epictetus teaches that frustration arises when we resist reality. When you focus on your actions instead, you align with reality, accepting things as they are. This shift reduces mental conflict. By narrowing your focus to what is controllable, you preserve your energy. It is easy to become exhausted by battles that are not yours to fight. Epictetus reminds us that your energy is limited and should be spent wisely. Focusing on your own efforts ensures that your energy is directed toward meaningful actions. This practice strengthens emotional regulation. Many emotions arise from expectations of how others should behave or events should unfold. When you focus on your own responses, you become less reactive. Mental freedom grows when you stop allowing external events to dictate your emotional state. Focusing on what you can control builds confidence. You learn to trust yourself, knowing that your peace does not depend on others or unpredictable outcomes. Confidence grows with each action you take, aligned with your values. This self-trust becomes a foundation for resilience. This principle also prevents manipulation. When you stop chasing approval or fearing others' opinions, you become less vulnerable to control. Epictetus teaches that no one can take your peace unless you allow it. By focusing on your actions and thoughts, you guard yourself against external influence. This mindset encourages you to act with integrity. When your focus is on doing what is right, regardless of outcomes, you stay true to your principles. Integrity becomes your compass, guiding your actions without the need for external validation. Peace grows when your actions align with your values. Focusing on what you control helps you let go of outcomes. Success is not always guaranteed, no matter how much effort you put in. Epictetus reminds us that your responsibility ends with the action, not the result. This release brings a sense of peace, allowing you to act without attachment. This practice cultivates patience. Not everything happens on your timeline, and forcing outcomes creates unnecessary stress. Focusing on your actions allows you to trust the process, knowing that things unfold in their own time. Patience grows when you stop trying to control what lies beyond you. Focusing on what you can control also reduces anxiety. Much of anxiety comes from fearing what might happen. Epictetus teaches that worrying about the future drains your energy. When you stay rooted in what you can do now, your mind becomes calmer. Anxiety fades as your focus narrows to the present moment. This mindset nurtures self-discipline. It takes effort to shift your focus from what is uncontrollable to what is within your power. Each time you practice this shift, your self-discipline strengthens. Discipline allows you to stay grounded even when circumstances are uncertain. This practice also teaches humility. Epictetus reminds us that we control very little in life. Humility allows you to accept that some things are simply beyond your influence. This acceptance brings peace, freeing you from the need to control everything. Focusing on your thoughts and actions fosters independence. When you stop depending on others for your happiness or sense of worth, you become more self-reliant. Epictetus teaches that true freedom lies in not needing others to validate you. Independence grows when you trust yourself. This mindset encourages you to embrace change. Life is full of shifts and uncertainties. Trying to control these changes only creates tension. Focusing on your responses allows you to adapt gracefully, flowing with life rather than resisting it. Flexibility becomes a source of peace. This practice nurtures gratitude. When you focus on your actions, you become more aware of what you have rather than what you lack. Gratitude grows when you stop chasing what is beyond your reach. This shift brings contentment, allowing you to appreciate each moment. Focusing on what you control also helps you accept failure. Not every effort will lead to success, and that is okay. Epictetus teaches that your worth is not tied to outcomes, but to your persistence. Failure becomes a lesson, not a judgment. when your focus is on learning and growth. This principle helps you manage relationships with clarity. You cannot control how others think, feel, or act. Focusing on your actions allows you to engage with integrity without trying to change or manipulate others. Healthy relationships flourish when they are built on mutual respect, not control. This mindset prevents overthinking. When your thoughts are occupied with what-ifs and hypotheticals, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. Focusing on what you can do now brings mental clarity. Overthinking fades when your attention is anchored in the present. Focusing on what you can control also builds resilience. Life will challenge you, but your response is always within your power. Epictetus teaches that hardship is an opportunity to grow. Resilience grows each time you choose to act wisely in the face of difficulty. This practice teaches you to value effort over outcome. Epictetus reminds us that success is not always guaranteed, but effort is always within your control. Focusing on effort brings fulfillment, knowing that you gave your best, regardless of the result. This principle also reduces stress. Much of stress comes from trying to control too many things. When you narrow your focus to what is within your power, you release unnecessary burdens. Peace grows when you allow yourself to let go of what you cannot change. Focusing on what you control encourages mindfulness. It keeps you present, preventing your mind from wandering to past regrets or future fears. Mindfulness grows when your attention stays rooted in what you are doing now, creating space for peace. This mindset nurtures self-trust. Each time you focus on what is within your power, you build trust in your ability to navigate life. Epictetus teaches that confidence grows through action. Self-trust becomes a steady companion when you consistently act with intention. This principle also strengthens your sense of purpose. When you focus on your actions, you align more closely with your values. Purpose grows when your efforts reflect what matters most to you, bringing meaning to each step you take. Focusing on what you can control also reduces regret. Regret often comes from wishing you had acted differently. When you make decisions with clarity and intention, regret loses its grip. Epictetus reminds us that peace lies in knowing you did your best with what you had. This mindset teaches you to embrace simplicity. Trying to control everything complicates life. Focusing on what is within your reach simplifies your choices, bringing clarity. Simplicity creates space for peace and fulfillment. This practice also deepens your connection with yourself. When you stop relying on external factors for happiness, you become more in tune with your inner self. Epictetus teaches that peace grows when your actions align with your true self. Focusing on what you control encourages kindness. You cannot control how others behave, but you can choose to act with compassion. Epictetus reminds us that kindness is always within your power. Peace grows when you act with care, regardless of others' actions. This principle also fosters forgiveness. When you release the need to control others, it becomes easier to forgive their mistakes. Forgiveness frees you from the burden of resentment, creating space for peace. This mindset helps you embrace uncertainty. Life will always have unknowns, but Epictetus teaches that you can face them with confidence. Mental freedom grows when you trust your ability to respond wisely, no matter what comes your way. This practice also nurtures inner peace. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, your mind becomes calmer. Epictetus teaches that peace lies within, waiting to be uncovered. Each time you focus on your actions, you peel away the layers of stress, revealing the stillness beneath. Breaking free from control begins the moment you realize that your power lies within. Epictetus teaches that by mastering your reactions, managing expectations, embracing discomfort, and focusing only on what you can control, you reclaim the freedom to live on your terms. True independence is not about isolating yourself. It's about cultivating inner strength, setting boundaries with compassion, and building relationships based on respect rather than manipulation. It's the freedom to walk your own path with purpose and gratitude, unshaken by others' opinions or the chaos of the world. This journey is not easy, but every step strengthens your mind and fortifies your peace. The Stoic life is one of discipline, clarity, and quiet power. It's not about controlling others, but mastering yourself. When you no longer seek validation or fear rejection, when you trust the process without needing immediate results, you become untouchable, free to live without compromise. If this message resonates with you, drop a comment below. What is one way you've taken back control of your life? Let's grow through these lessons together. Your insights might be the inspiration someone else needs today. And if you're ready to continue strengthening your mind and building true freedom, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. New Stoic wisdom and actionable insights are just around the corner. Your journey to an empowered life starts here.